Ugh. We're back.
We're back. That's it. We're rolling. How are you doing?
We're here. We're queer. Long out the ass. Sometimes.
Wednesdays.
It's a Wednesday, but
Yeah. But, let's come on. Sodomy on Mondays.
Sunday and Monday. Yeah. I'm more of the sodomizer. I guess it's the same thing. It's like the idea of sodomy.
You're still partaking in sodomy, so I would imagine that it would.
Yeah. Like you have to be the infiltrator for like sodomy to somehow be like part of the conversation. It's like some like poor girl gets raped. And it's like, yep, she was right in that sodomizing debacle. It's like she's the victim.
Yeah.
You have to be.
Yeah, you almost have to be the person sodomizing
Yeah.
to really talk about it. I suppose.
To even use that term. Really.
Well, yeah, because I mean, just butt fucking is kind of the common vernacular, right? Anal, right? Like if someone came up to me and said, "Hey, I sodomized a guy last week,"
right?
I'd be like, "Are you on the most wanted list now?" Because those two things go to like sodomy. It sounds wrong.
What's the deal with anal? Why is it such like a sought after or activity? Is it because it's forbidden? Is it because that's not? It's something they don't want to do. Not the girls I have.
Yeah.
But all the men.
I don't know.
What is it?
Is it just like anal just makes you feel good?
Forbidden fruit.
Suppose so.
It's also a little it's a little bit tighter.
I imagine.
And it doesn't really sort of loosen too much over like long periods of time.
Yeah, we're gonna find out.
Well, we're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out. Just the weekly sodomizing of our dear friend Mooted.
I'll be on.
We will ask him in 20 years.
Who will be on the next pod?
Yeah.
It's gonna be partly pod, partly sodomizing.
Part sodomy.
And he won't be part of the sod.
No.
Like we just explained the definition of why he won't be. Because that would be wrong.
It would, listen, you gotta have principles.
Yeah.
In life, you can't just not,
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the real victim blaming, it really is.
Yeah.
Talking about
But one thing I never understood is that people like it up the bum.
right.
Great. Like I want to meet more of those people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What's that Facebook page?
Yeah, people who like sodomy, and it's just like, yeah, that seems like your kind of people,
Where's like where's the Tinder for anal lovers? Get me on it.
Yeah, Grindr, I suppose.
Well, that's very specific. It's LGBTQ.
Right.
I was checking out some porn the other night, and I'm like going through categories, and lesbian is like it's up there.
Huge category.
I love
Big
it.
category.
It's a great category. I like going back there. I like going amateur. Lesbian does feel a bit vanilla nowadays. But I like to go back there every now and again. And just it did sort of vex me the wrong way that it was in the LGBTQ category. But it's massively correct.
Lesbian porn's for everybody.
It's for everyone, man. It's for kids.
It's for
It's for children.
Yeah, they got lesbian porn on YouTube Red. On YouTube Kids.
Did you ever watch like girls kissing on YouTube?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, being like 12.
Yeah.
And like girls kissing. Yeah.
And it was like probably just over the line of soft porn.
Yeah. But like the crazy thing is too, is like do you ever lie awake at night in absolute horror? Because like, at whatever age you're at, you're generally attracted to people your own age. So you're trying to find people your own age, but you're fucking 12. So you just write 12-year-old girls kissing.
That's an interesting
like 15-year-old girls. You know what I mean? And it's just like now that when you grow up and you understand the context, you're like,
and you've got the same IP address.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck did I do? Oh my god.
You're in trouble.
You're in trouble, yeah. But I think they would know that, right?
I think it's interesting.
Like juvenile search.
Yeah, because I agree though. Like 12-year-olds are sexy when you're 12, but also women were also very sexy when we were all
That's
men
also true. Yeah.
of their own age. Adults were sexy.
That's true.
I was always watching adults kissing on YouTube.
Yeah.
It was always an adult.
Yeah. I would only say that because like I know a lot of people who were like, oh yeah, like 13-year-old girl, dude, or whatever. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah,
just like,
as you would.
but you were 13 at the time.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of weird that like, was there an NSA back then? I think we're okay.
Yeah, I think we're okay. I think we're just out of that.
Yeah. Yeah, some guy.
Horrible algorithm.
Yeah. Some guy in an office, government office, doing the math right now. Like 2004. He was 12. No, he's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a Venn diagram of sorts.
Mm.
There's a big grey area.
Yeah.
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 I think we were just like hung about those sort of like those same searches.
Yeah.
You just keep getting older, but the search is still the same.
Yeah.
It's like,
Everybody gets one. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, 2004, you were
Yeah.
12, I get it. You know, you're trying to find people your own age, whatever. Because you know, you're looking at Cindy's Facebook page. You know what I mean?
It
She
makes
had-
sense.
She had a
Yeah.
shop around.
Mm.
You got a little excited,
Right.
you know? But if you're 30,
You're 30 now, man.
it's
Yeah,
like you gotta stop.
yeah.
You can't be doing that, you know?
You
It's
can't be
illegal.
doing that.
That's frowned upon,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm.
But
And you know,
yeah, but I always watched like adults as well,
same.
like older women, which is quite funny because that stayed the same.
Right. I guess like there was never a platform because of pedophilia. There would never be a platform for us as 13-year-olds to be able to type into a search 13-year-olds making out, because they're gonna, they're really gonna monopolize on that search,
Yeah.
sort of on that.
Yeah, which is not great,
Not great.
you know?
Better than the real thing though.
That's a slippery slope.
Yeah. Give them cartoon porn. That's all they can have.
I think delaying the vicious cycle of porn addiction as much as possible is probably a good idea. You know what I mean? Because as soon as you start, because here's the thing, like when you start watching porn, 12?
Yeah.
I was 12.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
it was about that.
yeah, just seeing a chick with the top up, you were like, oh, this shit's great.
Yeah.
And then, you know.
Well, you see that on movies.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's probably the media that sort of like puts us towards like older women.
Maybe.
Yeah, because you don't have like 13-year-old kids on like movies taking their tops off.
No, that would be horrifying.
That would be illegal.
Yeah.
But you see a 16, 17-year-old.
That's
Teenagers are sexualized.
that is true.
Just that.
Someone's watching this right now, just horrified. No, but it was weird, like, yeah. No. And then like 2 years later, you know, you're watching Live Leak. You know, you're watching a road accident or something. And
Yeah.
It's like, you know what, it's time.
We change as humans. We need more. We get bored easy.
It gets normalized.
It gets normalized,
It gets
and you're eating that foot long.
Eating that foot, that still fucking horrifies me to this day.
Indeed.
No, it's like serious, like it didn't bug him at all. You know? Yeah.
Tell you what, I'll put away a foot long.
Same. But like
How good is it?
But like
Not
how
every day.
quickly?
Oh, not that quickly. I'll
No.
savor it.
Yeah.
I'm nude. Yeah, I'm really getting amongst
Lit
those
the candles.
lit candles. Yeah, I'm in the bath. Yeah, I am the napkin.
That sounds lovely.
It is. Yeah, it's romantic, and that's our night.
Yeah.
Isn't it, Subway?
Yeah.
I digress.
But like, yeah, I don't know. You're gonna have to watch a previous episode to understand what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah,
But-
there's a few callbacks there.
Yeah.
Only for the Patriots.
Patriots. Look over that. Patriots.
Patriotisms.
It was like 7 or 8 minutes.
Mm.
Like he ate the whole thing. And Subway footlongs was bigger back then.
Just a real quick. Is that what like sort of really sort of extreme nationalists call like their hate crimes and war crimes? That's patriotism.
If it wasn't before, like you're gonna see 4chan be like, hey, so this wicked podcast.
Patriotism, the fuck
Yeah,
out of this guy.
patriotism.
This is where you're from.
Yeah,
This is
that-
America.
The football team, the Patriots, is getting squirrely. They're like, oh fuck, we're gonna have to change our name.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Sponsored by fucking the Feral Sunflowers.
Yeah. Can you imagine that on a blimp with a football game? You know what I mean?
Just me and you in those fucking outfits.
Bro.
We'll just never change that profile photo.
No.
And they're like, they'll be searching for that episode, and it's like they were never in that episode. Like,
Yeah,
we never saw them, wearing those costumes in that episode. They'll never find that episode.
No,
That's the point.
it'll be long gone.
Mm.
But yeah.
We'll be good at podcasting by then.
Yeah. Actually make some, money and then just pretend that we weren't horribly.
Fumbling around.
Yeah, like just we've said some vicious things.
Oh yeah. We've said the M-word a lot.
We have.
Yeah. And you're allowed to.
I mean,
You're on that scope.
I suppose so.
You are.
We've said a lot of horrible things about people with speakers on the front of their cover.
Yeah. I mean, Shane Gillis he got killed for saying chink.
Chink.
Yeah.
Just straight up chink, or was he saying something like chink in his armor?
No, he was saying chink.
Chink,
Chink Chinese. He learned into it massively, and he just got hired at SNL, and then that got pulled up from his podcast, and they fired him on the spot.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's horrifying.
It is.
But
Hey, look at Joe Rogan, bro.
True.
He had quite a few actually, and it was like a real hard R in his. It didn't seem like there was too much sort of comedic value to what he was saying.
Yeah.
Have you seen the montage?
I think so. I think I saw it once.
Yeah.
I loved every second of it.
It was great.
Beat off twice.
It was fun. Yeah, it was fantastic. We were all coming buckets, but there wasn't too much like sort of the way that we put it.
Yeah.
We're trying to be sort of provocative and offensive.
Yeah.
It's not like we hate them.
No. I don't hate anybody. I love people as
We'll stand them.
I will make a sweeping generalization and say I hate pretty much everyone.
Yeah. I might cross the street,
Yeah, I'll cross the street if I see anybody at all at any point in time.
Yeah.
I will just cross the street.
What if they're on both sides?
You have to hate people. I will just walk in the middle of the road.
Right.
You gotta hate
It's
people.
safer there. Because this can be dice on a hate crime,
Yeah.
which is vernacular manslaughter.
Yeah.
That's better on your tombstone,
Yeah. Vehicular manslaughter, hate crime.
Yeah.
No one's gonna look at the details of the case.
Not at all.
Right? Police vehicular manslaughter, they're like, I don't know, maybe it was an accident.
It'd be a great video, just like CCTV, but it's just like, well,
Yeah.
I guess that's that.
Yeah. It was one of the books, I guess.
Mm,
Put that on my week.
yeah. How was old mate Isolation Kid?
Oh, dude, yeah. Isolation was great.
Isn't it?
Well, here's the thing. I was isolating with my girlfriend.
Oh, wow.
So it was actually like really good.
It was just all anal these. It's not fun. It was really sort of
My ass still hurts.
yeah. You're really
Yeah.
sort of delving into the idea of what sodomizing was.
Yeah. No, I know. You could say I know sodomy through and through.
That's why we have to talk about it so freely in this episode.
That's gonna go. It's just the title is gonna be like episode 20. Sodomy.
I think we've had an episode where sodomy was in the title already. The reluctant sodomizer.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That was a funny bit.
That was a fucking funny bit. Dude,
The reluctant sodomizer. Yeah.
I was actually watching some other episodes while I was in isolation, actually.
Oh, true.
Yeah. It was fucking great. I was like,
Did you watch the full 2.5 hour episode?
the full 2.5 hours. No, I haven't watched that one yet. I haven't watched all of it.
Right.
I watched a bit.
So
It's quite funny. Yeah, so it was good. Isolation was good. We just cooked stuff. I started watching Scrubs.
oh, nice one.
I have not stopped.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
It's underrated. Yeah.
Oh,
A lot of black humor. Well, it's all black humor, right?
yeah.
Mm.
And so
African American humor, sorry.
I'm season 4 or 5 now.
Cool, man.
Yeah. So that's been great. And
I don't know how far I got into that show, but I don't know if they had a bad season because I can't remember that far back. But every show that sort of popped up on TV3, loved it. They sort of played that show 8 p.m. on
yeah,
TV3.
dude, it's a fucking great show.
It's fucking funny, bro.
I think my girlfriend's sick of it
Fair enough.
because that's all I watched.
Right.
Was just episode after episode after episode after episode. Yeah.
When we like something, we're like, okay, I'm cool now for however length of time it exists.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that was great. Cooked a bunch of stuff.
Cooked a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
You get a bit fancy with it? You get a bit spicy?
A little bit. A
Ooh.
little bit. A
Mm.
little bit spicy, a little spicy, flexing those creative muscles.
Cool.
But lockdown, the thing about lockdown, about isolation, that it's still isolation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You still get the doldrums.
You're on that plane, bro.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
You're like, cool, I've got like all these fucking movies to watch.
Yeah,
You're on that plane.
it's exactly it. So like we still got really like, want to go somewhere. Like, you know, being inside all day.
Inside her.
Yeah, you know, inside me.
Mm.
So, yeah, I don't know. The whole thing was just pretty like, it was good, but it definitely was like, it was good, but it was like, fuck, if I was doing something
Right.
that sucks so hard,
This was me.
you know? Dude, that must have been a tough week.
It was okay, actually.
I almost had forgotten what isolation was like. Because remember, like the first lockdown that we did ever as a country, everyone was just like shitting themselves. Like, I'll go on stage now and I'll open up. It's like, do you remember when everyone was freaking out about 50 cases? You know, and we were having like 50, 20,000 a day, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
We're freaking out about one or two
Yeah.
at that point.
You know? So like,
You could isolate it to the point where it's like, we know who it is, you know where they're from, and then it became a cluster. They were like, oh shit, it's a cluster. And now it's just like, yeah.
Well, the day they said they had 10,000 cases, I was in Kmart. I saw two moms fighting over a duvet.
Oh, duvet.
You know, and you'd think everyone would be freaked out, but they weren't. They were just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I just let it take me. Like, the cost of living has gone up so fucking much.
Yeah.
Like, you remember when $50 would be like half of your shopping for an entire week?
Right.
And now it's like not at all. It's
like, I spent $50 just before on a box of beers, a bag of walnuts, four of these.
Right.
Sorry for the listeners, there's a bit of off-camera action there. It's 4 packets of rice crackers. I got a bit of yogurt. I was making it up. I just got 3 little things of seasoning. I got Chinese 5 spice. I got allspice, and I got a bit of cumin. I was running out of cumin. Big fan of cumin.
Huge amount of cumin.
Big fan of cumin. And 2 lemons, $50. It's like 7 items, 8 items.
Yeah. Yeah, I spent like $50 today. Like, yeah. So yogurt.
Walk me through it. Oh, you went for the yogi too?
Yeah, with
Greek unsweetened?
Yes, my girlfriend loves it. She makes like coconut oats.
Oh, cool, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's nice and soft, but it's not too crunchy in the morning.
Yeah, it's like, you know.
She gets fucking into it. She's going blueberries, she's going berries or whatever.
She puts a lot into it.
I like it.
So it was just a tub of yogurt, 2 cans of tuna, an onion, 2 tomatoes, a hand of bananas.
A hand of bananas.
Yeah, that's what I call it. Yeah, a hand of bananas.
Never been. The term's never been used before.
Really?
Yeah, definitely not.
I swear to God, you're the first. Like a hand of bananas.
A handful.
A group of bananas. Called a hand.
A grouping.
A group. Yeah,
grouping of bananas.
a gaggle.
Yeah.
A cluster of bananas.
A murder.
Yeah, a murder of bananas. I don't know why we're doing this for everything.
Yes, please.
You know?
Yeah.
A
murder of eggs.
Yeah, murder. Yeah.
Just gonna keep going now.
Yeah, just a murder of plain waffles. I think that was pretty much it. Some chocolate.
Chocolate's expensive at the moment, of course.
Yeah, and we got lactose free milk. And that was like $50.
My cousin, I called up my cousin the other day, and she said one of the saddest things I've ever heard. She's like, we're talking about how the price of chocolate at the moment, how expensive it is because it's Easter.
Yeah.
Which is true. And to all of our listeners who are abroad, things are just more expensive in New Zealand because of our taxes are so high.
Yeah, and also the shipping as well across the Pacific. It's like,
yeah, that's true. We are far away from everyone else. Yeah, so she was talking about like the price of chocolate. She's like, you know what the trick is for Easter? Buying chocolate on Easter? Buy the day after.
Yeah.
Is that not inherently horribly sad?
Yeah.
It's like you've made plans to buy chocolate.
That is,
you know?
Yeah. Everyone I know at this point is like, yo, buy it after Easter.
You heard this as well?
I've heard it.
Oh my God.
You know?
I'm sad for our people, man.
Bro, I'm in that camp.
Oh no!
Yeah. Because there's the thing, I walk in, bro, Guinness made an Easter egg.
Let's have some better goals, man.
Like,
Let's
bro, it's dark time, man.
It is. I'm with you. I'm with it.
Bro, the Guinness Easter egg was $30.
Jesus.
Bro, the fucking Bailey's Easter egg was like $30 too. The other Easter eggs, like the tiny ones, you know, like the little ones in the boxes with like little shit in it.
Yeah.
Bro, it's like $10 a piece.
You know, like
It's like crazy.
you know the weird thing about Easter eggs is it's like such a rip-off.
Mm.
Because like it's an Easter egg, it's this hollow, like it's like, oh, it's big. It's like it's this hollow, skinny little fucking veil of chocolate.
They're always so thin too, bro. Like the walls are like,
Yeah.
like I mean literally like a few mils thick.
If they're not cracked, you're lucky. You're lucky.
That's your fuck. That's the worst. Like when you get an Easter egg and like the top's been caved in,
Mm.
that's the best part, is caving the shit in.
Yeah, that's right. It's like watching a video of like some guy breaking ice on like any platform. It's like this one's for the guys. You see that shit?
No, no. Oh, they're breaking ice?
Yeah, yeah.
No, I
This
think,
is for my male audience.
really?
It's like this like meme.
Masculinity's in crisis. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like we're desperate need to help.
We are indeed. We are indeed. We need help. We need to move forward somewhere, and maybe it's to Russia. He's still there. Apparently, he's getting his ass kicked.
Apparently.
Yeah. I haven't kept up because I was like reading the paper every day. I was like being swayed by like the way the writing.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, like now we're here. I'm like, oh, now we're here. I'm like, all right, I'm spending too much time on this shit. It's like I've been like scrolling on TikTok for like hours.
Yeah.
So I wasn't a fan of that. But yeah, he's still there. But yeah, getting his ass kicked by this very small like little nation.
Yeah.
Do you want to know?
Yeah.
Get rid of this bad boy here.
Appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird too, because it's like the war in the Ukraine. It's probably the first war I've ever seen anyone give a shit about in the last 15 years.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. You see all the the wars that are going on at the moment. And you're like, all right, well, that sucks
Yeah. Someone's like, because it's the other thing too, like
because
this.
they're white.
Yeah, literally, like it's weird because like there's crises happening all the fucking time. They're like, people in Yemen have got no fucking food, and everyone's just like, hey man, listen, hats off, listen, I love Rice Krispie treats. But then like the war in the Ukraine happened, and I think just because it was Europe.
Not to get political, but like the whole white thing is a scapegoat for the fact that like the war and all those other places are profitable for the people that are actually like going to war for it. Like I mean, to be fair, like the reason that they're there is like because some fucking big like power in the world is like profiting for whatever reason.
Yeah, true.
And the Ukraine is just kind of like the whole Ukrainian thing is kind of just like what, and like almost like in a sense Russia, like they're doing it terribly late, but he's almost like the Trump of like the world at the moment, where like sort of like pushing the envelope of like what's like normal.
Right.
Like I'm not saying I respect Putin at all, but it's kind of like it's one of those classic things where you go against Hollywood,
Right.
and you get MJ.
Right.
Did he touch kids? Did he not touch kids? I think he did, but we don't know.
Right. But funny, he was acquitted twice.
Yeah, it was.
Which like, I mean, come on.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You get acquitted twice. He didn't do it.
Right.
You know.
Mm.
You know. But like, yeah, you're right. Like, but like, you get like, yeah, you get like scapegoated like real hard.
Yeah, things get sort of like pushed off of something very easily, and now like the whole world hates fucking the Ukrainian conflict.
Yeah.
But yeah, weird.
Yeah. It's kind of weird too. Like, we are at an age where like, because our generation was almost born between two eras, right? Like, we were born at the very end of like one era, where like, because all of these people like Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, all these people, they've been in government for fucking ever, right? But all these people are starting to die off. Putin's in his fucking 70s.
Yeah, he's an old man. He wants to go with like a little bang.
Yeah, exactly. And
apparently he's like dying. He was dying.
yeah. Apparently, I had a roommate he got Parkinson's.
And he's not looking good.
He's not looking great.
He's not riding the bears like he used to.
No.
He's never riding a bear, but he was riding like a horse or something.
I think, yeah.
Was it?
Could
Could have been a bear?
I think there was a bear.
Could have been a bear. Or you see they're fighting a bear or fucking a bear. I'm
Yeah.
not sure what it was.
I hope it was God.
But
Fighting is best when you find it.
I've seen both videos.
You know? Fighting. Yeah. Look that up. Yeah. Putin and bear. You know, but that's the thing. It's like porn addiction is weird like that. You know, you start off at 12, you see a pair of titties, you get excited. Now you got to see Putin manhandling a bear.
That's all I can think about.
Gets you off.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
need to find it.
That's a slippery slope.
It is. It is.
You know, it's a tough thing.
And
but-
there's no way down.
There's no way down. But that's crazy because like all these people that have been in power like our whole lives and for the lives of even our parents.
Right.
Because Putin's been president for a long time. But he's also been like in Russian government way before the fall of the Soviet Union.
It's funny
He
how
was sent to East Germany.
it's funny how we all just sort of respect the fact that his like title is president.
Yeah, true.
Should be dictator, fucking boot.
Yeah.
Everyone just say, President Boot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Politics, man. They're like, oh, Russia owns the fucking oil. Russia owns this. Russia owns that. So like, hey, he's a president.
Yeah.
Oh, he's King Jong-un, the emperor, or what the fuck he is.
Yeah. They don't make shit. Yeah, if they started making Samsungs, they'd call him President Kim.
Yeah.
That's gonna go.
President fucking elect. Yeah. Yeah.
No, but it's crazy because like, but all these people are dying.
Right.
Putin's gonna die soon. You know.
I hope Hillary dies before she gets into power. She seems like a sneaky bitch. I'm not a conspiracy guy, but she seems like a sneaky bitch.
Yeah, there was controversy about her Benghazi. It's the controversy. It was about some soldiers in Benghazi, and I think we don't fact check on this fucking podcast, but she was basically left in there to die or something.
Okay.
Or some shit like that. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I second that. You can quote me for that.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, no, like she's a sneaky bitch.
Before she got like elected as senator,
Yeah.
like her main rival died in a car crash, a plane crash actually. She took a fucking plane down, bro. That's some power. That's some pussy. No, she came from a great family. She was good looking when she was young.
Yo, young Hillary Clinton.
Young Hillary Clinton. Ooh,
That little fucking psycho.
ooh, God.
Bro, I bet she could gyrate them hips.
Jesus, bro. She would have been a fucking sociopath, man.
Bro, firecracker, man.
Oh yeah.
You never want to stick your dick crazy. What if Bill Clinton was like fucking innocent as shit?
Right.
Like Bill Clinton is just some guy, you know, like he's never done anything wrong in his life. It's just this fucking psycho lady who's just like
She's just having fun with it. Like,
yeah.
There's no reason for her to be like doing all these things.
Yeah.
Like just sponge her name. Like she's
Yeah.
like this almost walkover wife.
Yeah.
Walkover, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like who's been like walked over and like she should have just got rid of it. But like and so she's like, we're having a bit of fun.
Yeah, literally. Because like didn't Bill Clinton fly with Jeffrey Epstein like 26 times?
Oh, I'm sure she's on the list, man.
They hung out a lot.
Right. They were good buddies.
So like that's that's a sneaky video right there.
Oh, she is. She
Yeah.
is.
To the degree that this is how much people hated that lady. They had Trump and they had Hillary Clinton. A guy who was so controversial, and I actually like Trump
Yeah.
because like even though he was controversial, he did a bunch of like random shit. He actually did like a lot of good for the American economy. Like the American economy was so dependent on other countries, and he was like pulling a lot of that back. And there's also a lot of deals too. Like I don't know if have you ever seen that fucking video of him at a meeting with like the German chancellors and shit?
No.
He was like, hey, we have a deal with you. The deal was basically that like America would pay for like infrastructure and shit, and then they would sell them the gas cheaper, also that they could get their own fucking gas and shit, right? And America would pay to protect that because a lot of European nations worried about Russia, shit like that.
Gotcha.
And so he's like, okay, and then we'll buy from America, like American oil and shit like that, right?
Sure.
So it's like, okay, cool. And but at this table, Trump's just like, hey, we have a fucking deal where you're supposed to buy our stuff. You know, you're supposed to buy our oil. We pay for the infrastructure. There's American soldiers guarding your stuff, and then you go and buy Russian oil, and like, well, you know, and it's all on like the American dime. And so, you know, do you think that? And he's just fucking berating this guy. Like, do you think that's fucking fair? Like,
He's being straight up without being
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not being diplomatic at all, and he's just like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and Germany talks about like, oh, we can, you know, give more. We can give like another 10 billion by like, you know, by 2030. He's like, 2030. You guys have got how many hundreds of billions every year in your GDP. You could put it up to 50 billion tomorrow, and it wouldn't make a fucking difference to you guys. And so, and this guy, and bro, this fucking diplomat looks so uncomfortable. It's just like
it's like being a diplomat, like the hardest like job in the world. Because like you go into it sort of as a libertarian.
Right.
Libertarian? What's that?
I guess so.
No.
Libertarians are guys like fuck government, fuck police.
Yeah. You're a libertarian. You know, if you're young, you've got bushy tail and bright eyes, and you're like, cool, I'm gonna change the world. And then just like slowly and slowly you got picked away at, bribe, like, and you're in this area where like all these old heads are in your sort of your infrastructure, like your workforce.
Yeah.
And you've got all these old heads who like they've been through it and they've like been through the shit that you've been through, that you're going through now. And you slowly and slowly get worn down until you sort of become, it's like that fucking Batman quote. You live long enough to see yourself become the villain. But or you die a hero.
Yeah.
It must be a tough job, bro.
Yeah.
That must be a very tough job.
It's gonna be tough. Because Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State for a while. Obama just stuck that bitch on a plane and had to fly around the world talking to people before fucking years. But they hated her so fucking much that literally one of the most controversial, probably the most controversial political figure in the entire history of the Western nation.
The great man himself,
Donald Trump. And they voted for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They couldn't trust her. I mean, there were many reasons, but like, they didn't trust her. They didn't trust a woman. They didn't want to elect a woman.
All that I'm with her shit was like real fucking bizarre to me. Because like I felt like a lot of people like just wanted to vote for her because she was a woman. And I was like, hey, do we want to take a look at the fact that like what she's actually like as a person, like as a leader, or do we just want to vote for her because she's a woman? Because like she opposed gay marriage in the 90s.
Yeah,
like, she voted against the bill to like legalize gay marriage and shit like there's a bunch of shit like. I mean, was like real crooked. So
do you think arbitrarily like more men vote than women do? They're just sort of more opinionated and they want to sort of put their stamp on things more than like a female would just like not care about shit.
I don't know.
Do you think guys care about shit more than girls do?
I don't know. I would say guys probably care less.
Yeah, but for something like that, for something that like has sort of value, sort of affiliated to it, sort of suffix with it, like because we've got certain things that we care about for like a certain reason. Yeah. Yeah, like what coffee do you get? Like I know it's such a guy thing. It's like what you just have a mochaccino? What are you fucking fairy?
Yeah.
Like I get a long black.
Yeah.
I have a short black. You can like you're Italian. You can go further. There's masculine. Is it like a masculine thing to sort of vote? And like, is it masculine sort of?
I don't know. I would say probably though, because women's suffrage, women weren't allowed to vote for a long time. Then there's probably a lot of women out there that being like, I'm gonna fucking vote. Like,
true.
I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Is that pride?
Yeah. I don't care what it's about. It could be, you could go down, it could be like voting about what flavor of chocolate milk Tesco's is going to stock next.
Right.
I'm voting.
Yeah.
Like
any sort of suffrage, right?
Yeah. I'm going to vote. Polls on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like multiple choice questions on those ads. You know what I mean? When YouTube is just like, can you answer a quick survey? I'm going to vote.
Yeah. You type in like you try and watch a movie online. It's like, hey, can you just do this quick survey for us? It's 99% women.
Yeah.
Connected.
99% of people just women like, I'm voting. I'm gonna fuck. I'm voting. So I don't know, but like all these people that like we have heard of for so long are dying. Joe Biden is a fucking walking corpse, bro.
How is he not dead?
I don't know, bro.
He's the one guy we all hoped he would, and there's so many hilarious videos of him, bro. Do you think he's a pedophile? Or do you think he's just like this weird old man? Because there's that strokey head shit with like
the smelling
of their
head.
Is it just like the youth that he likes?
Yeah, the Hunter Biden laptop.
Okay, yeah.
The pedo shit on the Hunter Biden thing.
True.
I would say maybe.
Hunter Biden took a lot of money from Russia as well.
Yeah.
Just randomly.
And you know how like people were saying, oh, the Hunter Biden, it was like a conspiracy. There was no Hunter Biden laptop, blah, blah, blah. The fucking CIA confirmed that was true. That Hunter Biden, that whole thing, the Hunter Biden laptop, fucking everything was true.
Right.
So like,
do we trust the CIA?
That's another question. Do we trust the CIA?
It's like I almost don't trust sort of like any American sort of intelligence system.
True. And if I don't trust the American ones, I sure as shit don't trust any of the others. So, but I wonder who will come next. Like who comes after Putin? because the world's always going to be the world, right?
Yeah.
So like, who comes after who? Who comes after the Hillary Clintons and the Bill Clintons? Who comes up? Because Bill Gates is getting on in years. He's not going to die in the next 10, maybe, but he's going to die he's going to die within our lifetimes. We'll probably be in our 30s.
You bloody hope so.
Yeah.
He's going to die within our lifetimes. Yeah. Goals.
Yeah, right. But who comes after these people?
Right.
And will they be worse? Or will they be better?
Well, Elon Musk is a younger man.
Elon Musk is a younger man, but he's still in his 40s.
Yes, he is. He's probably about what? Let's say Bill Gates is 60.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be inaccurate. And he must have done some naughty things.
But he flew with Jeffrey Epstein.
Did you end up seeing that cool video about him?
Which one was that?
So he's being interviewed about Jeffrey Epstein's death.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah,
He's dead. Yeah, he's dead. He's dead.
Well, that's that.
That's in the box. He's dead now.
So
And the fucking, you could see he was like trying not to fucking let a smile come over his face.
it was something like that. It was either a smile or it was just like a wince, or it's just like maybe a bit of relief.
Yeah.
He's definitely. It definitely wasn't the way that he usually acts. You don't see him acting like that usually.
It was almost like they had him in a corner, but they didn't know why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bill Gates flew with him like 20 something times as well. Like, I've not flown with my own family that many fucking times.
I've been on a plane that many times.
I haven't been on a plane that many times.
No. Well, young men.
We're young men. So
Let's travel.
26 times.
Yeah. It's a lot of times. He got hooked.
Yeah.
He enjoyed what was going on that island.
I mean, when you consider like the amount of people and who those people were,
right,
that guy had in his nest, like there's probably a lot of people that wanted him dead. There was a lot of people.
He's got a lot of money. What do we speculate went on in that island?
Probably a lot of unsavory things. People fucking, young minors, underage people, drugs. Probably some guy from the Philippines giving people massages. Someone probably was running a bar.
Yeah,
just innocuous things mixed in with just abject horror.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there would have been like, some sort of like fighting league going on that you can bet on.
Yeah, definitely. Like, which Filipino orphan did we bought can, who's gonna win? It's gonna fight to the death.
Right.
Yeah,
it would have been a lot of unsavory things.
Because like from what I've heard,
forbidden fruits.
Yeah, well that's the thing. Like they will try to get these people in these situations, get evidence, and then blackmail them basically. Now become an intelligence asset,
Yeah.
So
it was a pretty clever strategy that they it was kind of odd that so many people fell for it, was it not? It's like here's like this very sort of random person that came to power. He was an intelligent agent or something like that. Or he wasn't. He was just like this banker, Jeffrey.
No. Doing my best Bill Clinton impression.
Oh, it was good.
You gonna have to wait a minute. Oh, I never heard nobody. I don't actually know how he talks. Could be a fucking terrible impression.
It could be. But yeah, Jeffrey, he's just sort of like this random person that just sort of came to know all these people, and like people would just keep going to his island. And surely word gets around. Like surely it happens to like one or two of them. They're like, well, obviously there's sort of the secrecy that's involved with sort of the spread, the Chinese whispers of it all.
Yeah.
You can't tell people fucking what we're doing, so people just keep getting caught in the same trap.
Yeah, true. It might be one of those like, that's true, because if someone did get caught in the trap, they're not going to go and fucking tell everybody else.
No, they care about themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And these people are powerful people, so they got a lot to lose.
Yeah.
That's
right.
But yeah, it might be one of those open secrets.
Yeah.
Like Bill Cosby, like everyone, or Jimmy Savile's a better example.
But if it was one of those open secrets, why do so many people just like caught up in it? Were they just kind of interested? They were intrigued by the whole sort of, like they were just like, fuck yeah, this seems like a lot of fun. I'm bored.
Yeah.
I'm bored.
Hey, it's those freaking Moses, like what we gotta do, stand up?
Well, like money and wealth only gets you so much, especially when you're like, especially you want to be part of the crew. Was Jeffrey Epstein's island like the sort of the apex of the cool squad, the cool kids in school, like in that in their world, in the world of Hollywood, the world of money, the highest achievers in the world, going to Jeffrey Epstein's island. Because you hear about some like celebrities that have been, they were like, oh, I was just waiting to be invited, because that's how it was. There was an invite. People get invited to his island. Is that the cool club, bro? Is that
that could be a thing. That could probably be how like a lot of people got trapped. Hey man, we got this cool kids club, like literally, blah, blah. Oh yeah, I got invited. This is banker guy, the guy who's Victoria's Secret, the guy who went to Victoria's Secret, gave him a mansion. He's got this cool little island, invited me around for a barbecue. He's gonna fly us there, all expenses paid. It's gonna be fucking incredible. Blah, blah. And then when they get there, that's when.
All of that is also part of the allure. Like, these people have been caught, right? They've been photographed. They're being blackmailed now. They're saying, hey, this is how it's going to be from now on. We've got you doing this. Now you're going to be doing that. You are now part of the recruiting process.
Right.
Bill Gates gets on the phone to his buddy. Dude, this fucking island's the greatest, man. Like, I've been fucking children since noon.
It's like the darkest pyramid scheme that's ever been invented. You know what I mean? It's like those chain mail things. Chain emails. Like if you don't send this to 10 people, then like fucking, you can.
Maybe that's when they were like, maybe if that's like that was even created. It was like just a faff. It was just a joke that they just sort of threw that out into our world. It's like, yeah, let's just let them know how we actually do it.
Yeah.
Let's just throw that shit out.
True.
I'm starting to like conspiracy theories.
Yeah. That actually makes sense though. Can you imagine something like it? Because you can't just come out and say, oh, this is how we do it. You'd be like, oh, chain emails.
Yeah.
And then you'll just hope that somebody puts it together down the line on some podcast in New Zealand.
Yeah. Who mysteriously disappeared days later.
Yeah. I want you guys to know that listen.
We're wondering who that fucking that one sort of returning listener from Venezuela was.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's talented enough to shoot themselves in the back of the head twice. So if I turn up that way, you'll know it was Clinton.
This isn't that fucking movie with Angelina Jolie.
No.
Wanted.
Yeah, like it goes down pretty quick, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, they like kill bullets in that movie.
True. Oh fuck yeah.
That was a reference. Yeah, reference. Yeah.
That was fucking great.
Pretty cool movie though.
Yeah.
Basically just all action.
Sometimes it's what you need.
It's cool.
Sometimes, listen, sometimes you don't think it'd be like it is.
And it was
But it did.
It was cool when he made out with Angelina, like in front of his a whore of a ex.
Right.
That was cool.
I'm fuzzy in the details, but shit, I'll join you in that. That was fuck that ex.
She was a whore. She was fucking his best friend.
Yeah, that's whore behavior.
Yeah, that's whorish.
It's whorish.
It's not whorish. Yeah.
No, that's whore behavior.
Yeah, it's whore behavior.
Yeah, that's whore behavior.
There's no skirt around it.
That's the episode title. Whore behavior.
Yeah, just whore behavior.
Speaking of whore behavior, one of my topics. Glory Vale.
Oh yeah.
Is now being included in the Crown, Royal Crown's investigation of predatory religions.
I was about to say this is going to be the worst topic, like sort of research ever. Like something from fucking 4 years ago. Glory Bell. So have you heard about cheese? Thank you. I'm glad it's
Yo, there's a place called Glory Vale, bro.
You heard about sliced bread?
Yeah, there's people called women. No, bro, it's great. Like, yeah, no. So they've been investigated by like the Crown now,
Right.
for like dodgy shit.
It's funny they weren't that.
Abuse.
Going back to conspiracies again. How long were they protected for? Was like
That's true.
Was religion protecting them? Was like sort of like the high powers of sort of like in the religious world, were they protected by them?
Well, one of the things that like
Asking the big questions tonight.
that's true. We're going after everybody.
Yeah, we are, bro.
We're gonna turn up dead.
We don't have a long, we have many episodes left.
Probably. We're not long for this.
Watch while you can.
Yeah, I know. Right? Can you imagine 20 years they find this there? They go, no, that's fine. Yeah, that episode right there.
All of this became private summit.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, just probably. Yeah, let's use it, isn't it? We no like the church, for example, will like when there's claims of abuse, instead of like defrosting them or whatever, they will just shuffle them around. Like it's like a game of musical chairs.
Right. Oh yeah, they do. They still get work.
Yeah.
They still get work.
They just gets into another community. So it's possible that that could be the same sort of thing.
It's just a weird twist.
You know what I mean? That like, a lot of abuse and like glory about shit like that. You know what I mean? That just kind of gets, people just get shuffled around. Just, he's no longer the carer for the so and so.
Just all these clerics like living in like different parts of the world and have like all these like random all these different accents.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you're in like small town Spain and you've got
an Irish fucking cleric.
Yeah. And one of his
every cleric is touring.
Yeah.
They're doing a what? Like a, when they go for a big walk.
Yeah, like a journey.
Yeah, like a pilgrimage.
Yeah.
These guys are always on pilgrimages.
Yeah. You're walking in like next week and you're like, why does this one speak Swahili?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just goes everywhere. So yeah, I don't know. So that could be a thing. But also, now on the conspiracy track.
Give me back.
Could it be that there are higher powers in the country that know that the abuse is going on in Glory Event and partake?
Ooh.
In exchange for protection of that community. Because that's a weird thing to happen.
We've got our own cool club.
We've got our own cool club.
Cool class.
That could be Little St. James, New Zealand.
Ooh.
Because think about it, right?
Right in the name of Dilworth.
Right, in the name of Dilworth. That guy's rolling in his grave. I can feel his ghost mad at me. I'm sorry, James.
He's doing more than rolling.
Lord knows. No, but it is weird that like, how does a community like that exist here? We're a little island at the end of the world.
Just real quick, if Christianity is a thing, like, it must be tough to be like God. Just all these like horrible atrocities happening in your name.
Yeah, and you're like, I did not mean for that to happen.
Yeah, this isn't what I.
Yeah.
This isn't how the words are supposed to be interpreted.
Yeah.
I was quite clear.
Yeah. I wrote it in plain English. I wrote it in plain Hebrew. Like, help me.
Sorry.
No. Because here's what I was thinking. We're a little island at the end of the fucking world that no one gives a shit about and even few people live on.
Hey, there are a lot of celebrities sort of end up as a haven. Queenstown.
Which is not too far away. Conceivably, you could drive to Gloriavale from Queenstown. Where do they come?
From Bluff.
From Bluff. Oh, oh no! I think we're onto something. The next episode is going to be like my pinboard with like red string on it. Shit, like
bear with me.
It's not even a podcast anymore. It's just two people just like, it's like a conspiracy.
Just looking him right in the camera.
They're coming. Well, think about it, right? We're a little island at the end of the world that no one gives a fuck about, and even fewer people live on.
No one cares about us.
Nobody cares.
No.
But yet, there's an island seemingly self-sustaining. How do they earn money? How does a community like that thrive at all? Right? Because think about it. You're somewhere like America, food's cheap, a whole bunch of shit's cheap. You have like a lot of infrastructure there. Where they live down on the South Island, it's like, fuck, dude, they're living like it's they're doing like a cosplay of like the Crucible every fucking day.
Yeah. You've got Waiheke, you've got fucking the Coromandels, you've got all these like wineries that fucking just like seemingly pop out of nowhere. Where is this money coming from?
Where is it coming from?
Mm.
You know?
The source, it's
Yeah.
glory about, cherries.
Right, and they probably give them money, right?
Right.
Let's think about it. What the fuck? Listen, anyone who can move out of the South Island moves the fuck out of the South Island
Right.
because there's just nothing there.
There's nothing there.
You know, the opportunities are incredibly limited, even in like the city parts, which is really just big towns.
You don't want to be a farmer? Well, go fuck yourself.
If you don't want to be a farmer, work in the fisheries, even tradies.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of tradies move here.
Yeah.
And there's still not enough tradies.
Yeah, there's still not enough traders. They're always advertising, be a tradie, be a tradie.
Yeah.
We don't want to be a tradie.
No one wants to do that.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I got told that if you took every single tradesman in New Zealand and you put them in Auckland, there still wouldn't be enough people to meet the demand.
Interesting.
So we're sorely lacking. So like even doing that shit, like how are they getting money? How are they self-sustaining? There's some guy doing digital marketing on his fucking laptop.
Mm.
And glory about doubt it. Do they even have internet? They're like fucking Amish. So my theory is that people will go down, partake in the debauchery, toss them a little cash,
Right.
and make sure that the media and everybody else just leaves them the fuck alone.
Right.
You know?
Aucklanders. Wellingtonians. Maybe 4 people from New Plymouth. No one from Palmerston North. They don't have that money or power. They don't have the prestige in their Palmerston North.
They don't have the will to live half the time.
No, they're on crack because they have to be.
You'd either have to be on crack or you'll be wildly depressed down
Yeah.
there. You know?
I hope my buddy doesn't hear this or watch this.
I'm from Palmerston North.
No, but there's this guy that I know from Timaru. Good buddies,
Yeah.
and he's got a full-blown family.
Oh.
Just crack on the side every now and again without any of their knowledge. And really, he's just doing it to get by, you know. He's got a family, bro. He's got a family.
That's insane.
Mm.
But listen,
That's one of his casual sort of partaking activities that he just sort of has. Like some people go to some people go to the cafe to sort of they go to the library. They've got their hobbies. They're a green thumb, and then others who live in sort of slower towns. They do a bit of crack every now and again.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Like I grew up in a small town.
Hmm.
It was fucking horrible. But luckily, I only grew up in a small town that's 30 minutes that way.
Right.
Although that was a lot longer as a kid, and also a lot less here. But down there, it's like you could drive for fucking days, and not be fucking anywhere. Like you'll walk past the same dairy your entire fucking life.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Why aren't these people leaving, bro? Because I go back to New Plymouth every now and again, and like guys that I've met from school who they'll be working in hairdressers, they'll just be living in New Plymouth, and I'm like, and they're struggling. They drink a lot, they might play on the pokies. I know quite a lot of them are meth heads. They've seemingly aged 10 years since I've seen them 4 years ago.
That'll do it to you, yeah.
Yeah, well, because they're unhappy, but can't they realize a lot of them get caught in relationships, and they get caught by the family crux. Crux is not the right word, but they get caught. They get trapped. But what about the people who are not trapped but choose to remain there?
I don't know, maybe they don't have the spine for it.
Kill yourself.
Right. You imagine if that was like those government messages like quit smoking today.
Yeah.
It's like, are you still living in Timaru? And you have the option to leave. Kill yourself.
Yeah.
Or
What
come
do you
to
do?
Auckland today.
It's like that Michael Jordan thing. Stop.
Yeah. Yeah. Get some help.
Get some help. Get some fucking help.
Get some help.
Yeah. You can only live in New Zealand when you're old. I mean, you can only live in New Plymouth specifically when you're old. It's got great cafes. It's got great walks. You can, if you're still limber enough, you can go ski down the mountain. Also, you can you can longboard, surf. You can do all those things, but only then is it okay for you to live there. Anyone else, you're wasting your fucking life. There's so much more out there.
Honestly, it's fucking terrible. But that's the other thing. Like people do get mental, but the relationship thing is huge.
You'd have to be depressed. If you're not depressed, living in a place like that, There's something wrong with
You
you.
gotta be dumb.
You gotta be done.
You gotta be real
thick.
fucking dumb.
Undiagnosed.
Thick in the head, bro.
Thick.
Artistic.
Artistic.
So we get monetized.
Yeah.
Full blown artistic.
Full blown artistic.
Shout out to Flagrant 2. Yeah, no, like
And retards.
take out the monetization. No, like that is the thing. Like, a lot of people will get caught. The relationship thing is so big too. Like, the partner that you have
It's massive.
will determine how high you can climb.
I tell you what, the whole love is a drug thing. It's real.
It's true.
Mm.
Like,
I used to date a retard.
I've dated a couple every now and again.
Yeah.
You know,
And she was fun, and I was in love, and it was great, and it was all blur, and then 3 years of my life went by. And my God, I hate you. And I hate
Yeah.
myself even more for wasting my time.
yeah,
Mm.
that's how it always goes. But like, that is the thing. Like,
Probably
trying to be
not.
successful, hey?
Hopefully not.
Yeah, no, hopefully not.
Always.
Yeah, no, I know, right? But that's a weird thing, because like trying to be successful is like trying to be Sisyphus. You know, the guy in Greek mythology who's sent to hell and he has to like push a boulder up a hill.
Didn't know that.
And if he gets it to the top of the hill, he's free. But the catch is that like every time he's about to get it to the top of the hill by divine providence, it rolls back down.
He gets sore knees, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, that guy needs new metatarsals and shit.
He does. He's on titaniums.
Yeah, but that's what trying to be successful is like. But and the thing is that like you
Can be like.
you can be like, but the thing is you can't push that boulder and pull a bitch on a sled too.
No.
You know, you need that lady out pushing that rock with you. So
She's the one kicking your knees at the top.
yeah, y'all's for real. Some bitches will sit on that sled and just fucking cattle prod you in the back of the knees
Dude, when I
because
was
you ain't pushing fast enough.
Dude, when I was 16, I went over to my buddy's house. His name is Daniel, and the year before, his girlfriend had fake pregnancy
Wow,
to keep him in the relationship.
that's fucking good. So what happened when she just didn't start showing?
She didn't start showing. So months went by. He left school. He took ownership on it. He left school this time. Yeah, and got a job. And he was like, all right, I'm doing this. You know, this is what it is. And she didn't show. And then he's from Palmerston North.
Yeah, wow.
And yeah, and it fucked his life up. But I don't know if it was for the better. He's now doing music. But he's still living in New Zealand. So
Yeah, not great.
not great.
Yeah, people often wonder why like men will run out on children, but they fail to consider the crazy fucking shit that happens.
Yeah.
Like even
Okay,
a story, right? Bro, I know a guy. Get this, I know a guy, right?
Go on.
He's with this girl, right?
Hmm.
All seems to be hunky dory,
Right.
right? He's just man about fucking.
Love a
town.
hunky door.
Yeah, he's just fucking doing this shit out in the town. And so anyway,
He's cutting shapes.
he's cutting shapes. He's
Right.
cutting up rugs.
Ooh.
You know,
That's sexy.
I like that phrase, cut a rug. You know, it's great.
Yeah.
But
Especially outdoors.
I mean, if there's a rug outdoors, I'm standing on it.
Yeah, I'm taking my shoes off.
Woo-hoo-hoo, yeah,
I'm getting in there.
I'm getting in there. You know what I mean? Years later, right? Shit happens with this girl, whatever it ends. That's all good. Like a year or so later, and I knew this guy. Like I would go to house parties and shit. Like I wasn't like friends with him. I kind of knew of him. He was at parties all the time.
You were understanding of the shapes that you cut.
I knew the shapes he cut.
Hmm.
You know, I cut a couple of them myself.
Hmm.
You know,
I have no doubt.
right. Yeah, like, there's a day likes to cut a couple of shapes. It's just what it is.
Ah.
This guy finds out that girl got pregnant. She baby trapped him. Poked holes in condoms, said she was on birth control. She stopped taking birth control. Like poked holes in condoms, like all that shit.
It's like the opposite of manslaughter.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking life slaughter, bro. That poor fuck's gonna like live now.
Yeah.
But and then he didn't know any of
Is
this.
it kind of like accurately the opposite of manslaughter in a way?
Literally. Yeah.
Yeah.
And literally like accident. Yeah. What's like premeditated manslaughter?
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of murder, really. It's like the opposite of massacre. Yeah. But he doesn't know any of this until like a year and a half later. He gets a letter saying that he's behind on child support payments.
Right.
And he's like, the fuck? Calls him up and just goes, you guys must have had the wrong guy. I don't have a kid. And they go, yes, you do. They go, you're so-and-so, right? He goes, yeah,
Yep.
but that's like a common name or whatever. Like I don't have a kid.
Oh, so he just had no idea about this sort of the association with the girl as well.
No.
Right,
So
right.
she baby tracked him, stopped taking the birth control, put holes in condoms, got pregnant, didn't tell him, like they had a toxic ass relationship, they broke up. She didn't tell him, go through the whole pregnancy, gave birth. I don't imagine there's any posts on social media, nothing.
Mm.
And then like a year and a half later, she just starts getting child support to months in the mail.
Right.
From the government. Because it's not up to you whether or not you pay child support, or even the woman. Even if the woman came from a good family, they're like, fuck it, we don't want your money. The state will be like, you have to pay.
Oh no, like the woman get that.
Yeah.
That and divorce.
Yeah.
They kill it.
Yeah. Women just run the divorce game. It's crazy.
They do.
It's just not get married.
They suck at everything else, but they're nailing the divorce game. Oh, when it comes to legality.
I mean, listen.
Ownership children.
They suck at everything.
Oh yeah, they're not.
And, I mean, in the courts specifically, I don't want anyone to think
They're
that.
hardly even here.
I don't want anyone to think we're fucking misogynists.
No.
But in the court system, yeah.
But we stand them. We cross the street, but we stand them.
Yeah, I'll tolerate it. I'll tolerate it. Might even say hello to one if they make eye contact.
If we're trying to fuck.
No, but like that's the weird thing. So anyway, he just gets his child support fucking letters, bro, and he just finds out. He went fucking dark on it. Like there's like
He killed the baby?
Not yet,
Not yet.
as far as I know. It's been a while since I've checked in on that guy.
True that.
But like the minimists, like feminism, but for men, like for men's rights, like the men's rights activists.
Oh, minimalist.
Yeah, manimist.
I thought you said minimalist.
He's just on turn wheel and shit. He's like, fuck this jersey, I need to show.
He's-
Like, fuck you.
Yeah, he's like still paying child support and like still saving.
Bro, like legit, like that. It's a hard life, bro.
Yeah.
No, so he just went like full manimist.
Right.
Yeah.
Just hated women for that one point.
Hates women.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he probably
probably-
hates women.
I feel there's probably something like there was something more to that.
Yeah.
But you were talking about the cutting of the shape, so you were trying to build his character, saying that he wasn't going to be anything like that.
Yeah, no.
He wasn't going to. It was never going to be a manimalist.
No. He was never going to be a manimalist. Minimal.
And then he became that because of
He became that.
this
Yeah.
great injustice that was sort of struck upon him.
And she didn't want to work either, by the way. This bitch doesn't want to get
No,
a
of course
job.
not. They never do it.
No,
They're fine.
never wants to get a job. Yeah, literally. It's always the case. They always try to baby trap some motherfucker and then just live off the child support. So
I know a couple of girls like
happens to
that,
them, so.
and one of them tried to get pregnant and couldn't because of her sort of her yucky womb.
Right. She had a yucky one.
She had a yucky womb,
Some of them do.
infertile, toxic,
It's gross.
and so she couldn't grow one. And another
Probably the best.
Yeah. And she like in her head she said, oh, this is gonna be my calling. This is a sign. She's one of those. Yeah.
Oh, fuck it.
I do too. But it was just her ticket out, and like she's like outwardly, it really sucks to me when like someone's like lying out loud. Like she's like she obviously wants to ticket out. She wants the easy life, but she's saying like in the conversation, yeah, this is what it was meant to be, and this is where it's supposed to. This was the trajectory that was always sort of coming. You get what I'm saying anyway. And, just lying. I hate people who just sort of like lie when sort of the whole group or like that know what's going on. Even she knows.
Yeah.
Or that person knows.
Yeah.
That really pisses me off.
Yeah.
And
just feels wrong.
Yeah, it's fucking wrong. It's like, yeah. And then this other gal, she succeeded. She succeeded with like a good buddy of mine, and now they're married and have a child.
Wow.
And I imagine the next couple of years of their life are going to be very turbulent.
Yeah, I mean, I don't condone the whole murder-suicide thing, but I understand.
But when you're there in the moment,
I get where it comes from.
Yeah.
That's not to say everybody should do it.
No.
But when you know the story and when you know the story and when you know what someone's been through, and everyone's like, I don't understand, because that's the thing. I look at like photos, Instagram, and fucking Facebook, all that shit. People are like,
do you like Bill Burr, bro?
I love Bill Burr.
You nailed Bill Burr person just now.
Yeah,
Yeah, you crushed it.
Yeah, it's probably the NFL work.
Yeah,
Oh my
that
God,
was
I don't understand. Like
If
the
you want.
photos. Thank you, man. They always look like such a happy, caring family, and I just don't understand why this could happen. And it's just like, oh, I know that guy.
Yeah.
Like he was like, yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah, the older you get, the more like the shit that your parents say makes sense. When
Sure.
you think they're being cynical, you're like, like, you know, you just close your heart off to the infinite possibilities of humanity.
Right.
And then you get older, you're like, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Don't trust anyone, you know?
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
I have a natural distrust for like everyone really. Every now and again, someone come into my life and it just clicks.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and we're like friends right away, like you and me, right?
Right.
Like we met.
Two.
Yeah.
Like 2 occasions.
Yeah. And we're just like,
Yeah.
you know, and that was it. But like with women and stuff and like dating and shit, like on Tinder, the thing is that like a lot of guys are so fucking stupid. Like some girl will be like, you want to fuck? And they'll be like, yeah, let's fuck.
They're ruined for
Yes. But it's like
for us good guys.
Yeah.
But we're the real good guys, really.
yeah, the fucking best.
We're just honest.
I will, you know, if she likes getting choked, I'll put it through fucking drywall. That's all I'm saying.
I'm big on triangles, triangle locks, or I don't know any of
We're
it.
cutting shapes.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it is.
That's kind of shit.
But you imagine that some bird was like, yeah, no, let's cut some shapes, and some chicks just having big TSD. You know what I mean?
On this podcast.
Yeah. But no, like I just realized that none of these people that I told you, like a lot of people that I knew, they're like, yeah, bro, like, I'm gonna try to fuck. And I'm just like, you don't know this woman. Like, you know, oh yeah, bro, check this out, bro, she's just fuck, bro. And I'm just like, hey, fuck with. Like, that could be a guy that has made a fake profile and wants to rob you.
Right.
Like, that's fucking. So, like, I would always meet people for God first, that shit.
Of course.
And if I only ever need one red flag. I only ever need one. If there's one fucking red flag, I'm like, she's gone. Because if someone was just like, oh my God, you know, like, I just, you know, I like the crazy eyes. No, she always looks at you like this.
The crazy eyes.
The fucking crazy. It's never been wrong.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a good judge of character as well.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's something up with me.
Yeah. Yo, if a bitch has crazy eyes, I've always been like, that bitch is crazy.
Right.
And everyone's like, no, she's lovely. She, you know,
Distance.
yeah.
And then
yeah.
distance.
Because I've had friends that are like, no, man, you know, she's got a lot going on. She's really lovely. And I'm like, no, she's fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And she's crazy.
She will surprise you.
Yeah.
And then they always do.
Yeah. It's true with dudes too. I'm just like, that motherfucker's crazy.
Yeah, there's something off of it. Like
That
this,
thing's crazy.
like this angel guy.
Yeah.
We're gonna see him in the papers one day.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't like me.
Oh, I don't think he likes me either. I saw him laugh at one of my jokes on stage.
Bro, what that gig that we did, I went to shake his hand and say, hey man, how you doing, whatever. He fucking pulled away. I was talking about COVID and like he's a germaphobe and shit like that. And I was just like, I wonder if it's just me. Cause like surely with your own friends, you would like.
Yeah, you'd embrace COVID.
Yeah, you'd embrace them.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm.
Well, you know?
No, I'm with you. Yeah, I was gonna start taking the first step. But no, I mean, you can't help yourself. Like we live in a weird time right now where you know COVID is everywhere, but you can't help it, you know, kiss your friend on the lips.
Yeah. Were you gonna not kiss the homies when you tuck them in?
No.
You can't do that.
I can't go to sleep if I have docked my body as I doze off.
Yeah, you know, it's just.
I'm not sleeping if I'm not docked. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you know, it's like this is the most interconnected a human can be. You know.
Is there any other?
Yeah, exactly. You know. But yeah, so no, man. I just always had like a because I've heard so many horror stories. Like, oh, you know, and it's always tradies. It's always tradies. Luckily for me, comedian, designer, and there's less of people. There's a spectrum of humanity, right?
Right.
You got high caliber people, you got low caliber people, and a lot of those people are all low caliber people, right? The women that try to baby trap someone that don't work, but they always try to get someone that's just above them, which is usually a trade. So there's not been a lot of people that even would really consider me within that. So I don't know, maybe, or maybe but that's the other thing too. I've always been in the middle of something, a project, trying to launch a business, do something. So it's not like I'm some rich dude, you know, who's high flying, whatever. Like I'm gonna baby trap that guy. You know, it's always been like, oh, he might make it big. Right now, he's kind of, you know, eating shit.
Yeah.
Like
He's got potential,
but
yeah, I mean,
yeah, crashing the boat.
my risk, the risk ratio
Too high.
is it's like sort of a medium.
Yeah. But tradies, it's always tradies that get baby trapped.
Yeah.
Every single, like literally every, the guy that I told you about, he got baby trapped, he was a mechanic.
Yeah, so which is strange, bro. It's like they're sort of low on like what they are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean? Like
Well,
in what way?
Well, you know, like in a sense where you've got someone who's got like they're a big banker.
Right.
They're a sports player. They're in the NBA.
Yeah.
They get baby trapped quite easily. You know,
Yeah.
if these guys are constantly sort of guarding the inevitability and the possibility of that.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, like tradies are getting like baby trapped. Why are they getting baby trapped?
Yeah.
They don't have like massive potential as like when it comes to income.
Right.
Why are they getting baby trapped? Are they just like
I don't know.
is it
Maybe
just
it's a security thing?
what, because you know they're gonna get income?
Yeah, because everyone needs tradies. Maybe it's
Okay.
like, oh, like we'll always need electricians.
Right.
Maybe it's that. Like
Okay.
that, like, oh yeah, plumbers will always be needed. The guy's a plumber.
You know what's underrated about like being like a tradie or someone like visit someone's house? You're like a pizza guy. You're some sort of delivery like person.
Yeah.
You're a tradie as well. Someone who like enters someone else's home, random homes. You're you know, you have the possibility of being in a porno situation.
That's true.
If you're a comic, it's much more procedural when it comes to your sexual encounters. It's like you meet, like you do like a comedy, you do a gig, you do a spot, and then you get approached by a girl or you approach a girl after the gig, and then it's much more structured. But just the randomness and opportunity for sexual encounters, that specific sexual encounter with like a random person in their home, we will probably never be privy to it.
I was a pizza guy for about several months and it never happened.
Never happened. You fuck.
I want it every night.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that got me from the chef. Maybe the next house.
Yes, the next.
And then
house.
somebody's dad would answer, and I'm like, "Hey,
You've delivered 100 pizzas tonight. What are you doing? You're like, I've got hope my heart.
yeah, you're gone."
They all do. They all do at the start.
Yeah. You went to like every house on the street. They didn't even order pizza, and I'm just like, "Listen, man, I'm just spreading the good word." You know what I mean?
I'm just handing out flyers here.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm just doing a bit of advertising for you, free of charge.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
Yeah. They just get Careless Whisper playing in the background. You know,
I don't get it.
you know, that's just that George Michael song that people play when they have sex.
Okay. All right.
You know? Yeah, no, I don't know what it is, man. Tradies, they just get baby trapped a lot.
Right. Maybe it's just like because like lots of Kiwis are traders. Is it just like our own personal? Yeah, it's our sort of our own situation.
Well, the other thing too is that like it's quite a cultural thing. Like you grow up, you go be a tradie.
Right, it is. Like,
You know what I mean?
it's like the main profession in New Zealand.
Yeah.
You go to like go to America. You live in America. You live in England. It's not a niche, but there are different categories of like a vocation.
England too has got that class system. Like anyone who's like, oh, you know, the UK doesn't have a class system anymore. Like bullshit, dude.
Oh, massively so.
Huge, man. Because here's the other thing too. This is one of the reasons I love America. American is something that you can become. It was founded that way.
Right.
If you come here, you pay your dues, you know, you work hard. You can become American. You're just as American as everybody else.
Gotcha.
But upper class Americans look a whole bunch of ways. Like a rich upper class Texan guy is going to look completely different from a guy from Arkansas. It's going to look completely different to a guy who's upper class in New York, completely different to an upper class guy in LA, completely different to an upper class guy in Washington.
Stephen Fry had a great quote on it. He said, the difference between England and America is in England, only a specific amount of people become prime minister, but in America, anyone can become president.
Yeah.
And it's exactly that, you know, like just it doesn't even matter really what type of person you are, just as long as you have sort of like social sort of norms in check, then you have money, and you have power.
That's the other thing too. I think there's only one school in the UK that all the prime ministers in the last 50 years have come from.
That sounds about right, man. I was like a averagely smart kid, but like, I was quite good at math and English, and so like when I was living in Sutton, there were like we were just surrounded by sort of like public schools, but there was a grammar school there, and that grammar school was a great pool that went to like some of the great universities, and I remember going to the because I was like not a dumb kid. I was good at those two subjects, like, and so like I went to the like grammar school sort of what do you call them, like tests.
Right. Yeah. Like the entrance exam kind of thing.
Sort of ironic that I can't think of the word for that. But, yeah, the entrance exam, but like that school, the grammar school sort of entrance exam, and it was a very interesting vibe. Something I was never used to, because like living in Sutton, which is sort of very low down, and like going to a public school and just sort of like living my whole life like around these like certain types of people, and then suddenly like studying for hell, like to try and get into that school, and then going to the test, and then just meeting all these like just like sort of taking the environment of it, and definitely sort of like watching the people that I was around.
Yeah.
Weird, bro. Weird.
Yeah, weird.
The class system in England is very, very structured and very severe is the word, or like the jumps between the because I was jumping like sort of 2 or 3 classes, like just like going to this exam. I'm from low dim, and then there's also like mid dim, but then I'm like I'm doing the same test as like these high dim people.
Right. Because there's a lot too. Yeah, and that's the interesting thing about like Europe and stuff like that, is that like, for example, if we went to France, right, or you went to France,
Let's go together.
you know, yeah, right, and let's say
We went to France.
we went to France. We both married women, French women, and we lived there for 10 fucking years.
Other way at all.
And let's say we both had French kids, right? Born in France, raised in France, right? Kids. So you had 2 kids, I had 2 kids. We both married French women. We've been there for 10, 15 years.
Oh yeah.
Your kids are French. Your wife is French. You're not French.
We're not French.
You're not French. They'll never consider you French.
We're citizens. We're residents.
Yeah, residents, but you're not French. You know what I mean? It's that interesting kind of thing. Which, going back to the American thing, was interesting that like it's kind of a lot more is defined by you. Like, as to like, here's this whole spectrum. You can climb the whole fucking spectrum. There's people that come from fucking India, like Mumbai. You know, there's people come from Manila. There's people that come from fucking God knows where. There's people that come from all over the fucking world, and they kind of can climb the ladder. One of the interesting things that I thought of about like the UK was that class system is so rigid. It's like, even if you're like a Cockney guy, starts fucking talking like this here, right? I invented a brand new kind of fucking pipe, goes on every fucking house, right?
South East London,
Yeah. You know, went on every fucking house in fucking London, yeah, right? It's a fucking pipe on, mate.
It's a great accent.
You know. Thank you. There's a lot from you actually, because you actually know what that accent sounds like. Sometimes I can escape out of doing the shit.
I'm familiar with it.
You know?
It's very good.
Yeah, I just sold fucking piping. Now I'm a fucking multi-millionaire, right? And so like that whole thing, it's like, you could be that Cockney guy, you know, that Southeast London. Is that where the Cockneys are from? Southeast London?
Yeah. So.
Right. I was terrified for a second that Cockneys from like Southwest or like North, you know what I mean? And I had just like those 2 wires crossed.
They're very close to the city. You can go like west slightly or east slightly.
Okay, interesting.
It's Southeast London.
Southeast London.
It's like the lower down parts of like London.
Right.
That's where it's affordable to live.
Right. Okay, interesting.
For those families.
Right. So like that's
refugees.
yeah, refugees. So here's a question for you. Because from the way that, and it's interesting how it's permeated around the whole world, right? Like the class system in the UK. that the accents are different. There's a high class accent. And they also sort of talk like this. And, hello, how are you? You know, my name's Bridget. And blah, blah. And then
Being
the low class,
proper.
being, sort of proper, and it's all very sort of enunciated. It's all sort of talks like this. I'm not doing it right.
No, you're doing very well.
Thank you. And I'm gonna start talking like that for the rest of my life.
You know, you want to get somewhere.
Yeah, we can just stop making an accent. But at least in pop culture, it seems that those classes are very rigid. And so, like, you could be a Cockney, and I made fucking piping, right? Like, fucking revolutionary, mate. Like, we're down to fucking Chippy, I saw my fucking piping on this fucking house.
You'd have to be a comedian. You'd have to be like, you look at Adele. She's got a Cockney accent.
Yeah,
but she's only rich because she's got a fantastic voice.
Yeah.
Like you see her like talking in interviews, everyone's turned off by her.
Yeah.
And massively in England, they're turned off by her.
Right.
But, well, no, yeah. I would say sort of like.
Interesting.
I would say 30-20% are turned off by her because of the way she speaks. I think, man, your representation of England, you're fucking making us look bad.
Right.
Because that is the sort of underbelly and what is sort of like frowned upon.
Right.
When it comes to like people don't want to associate with Cockneys with Southeast London.
Right. So it's very, very rigid then. Because like it seems to me, at least from what I know and from what I've learned from pop culture and from like, which is really old, I actually know, that like you could be a Cockney and fucking talk like this. And even if you made it like a billion, even if you became like a fucking multi-millionaire, they'd still consider you a Cockney. They consider you like a novelty. Like, look at that. He's a fucking Cockney that made $1 billion in this. He made piping. That's so bizarre. That's quite amicable.
And it's funny that like it's not only that that sort of ideal is or the idea is like shared in England. It's a universal idea.
Right.
Like you could have an American who would like hear a Cockney accent and he would think, oh, here's a poor guy. Here's a guy who sort of is lower middle class or is middle class.
Right.
That would be like the sort of the average general opinion, and you usually be correct. But you could like hear any American accent, and you wouldn't really know. Like
It sounds American.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have certain perspectives when it came to like sort of the deep South.
Right.
And when it came to like the South, you'd be like, all right, maybe this person's like racist, or maybe this person's like a hillbilly. But that was all that would like all it would be. And probably with like guys from the Queens. You know how you've got that sort of Italian twang?
Yeah.
Like
gonna fucking join it.
Yeah,
fucking Boston.
fucking sloppy Joe.
Yeah, right.
I probably put an English twang on it. Yeah, it wasn't terrible. But yeah, the class system and that person can still be a millionaire.
Right. Like so what you're saying is that like, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can't tell what class a person is from their accent in America.
It's far less distinguishable than it is from like, and definitely the general opinion of like of how that's universally looked at from England to America.
Right.
Yeah. So it's far more ambiguous in America.
Right. Okay. So if you're in England,
just repeating your point, basically.
Yeah. No, but I think it's interesting to talk about like. So if you're in England and you have a Cockney accent, they'll think poor guy straight away. Yeah,
they'll think you're at least of the lower half of the spectrum.
Okay, right.
Yeah, you have to prove yourself.
But no, it's right actually. The point you make that like, you hear an American accent, you think American, or you think Texas, or you think the South, maybe racist.
Yeah, they're racist, maybe not as smart, but you wouldn't really sort of go straight to maybe hillbilly, but you wouldn't go straight to sort of how much money they earned.
True.
But you would do that if they were English.
True.
You'd be like, cool, you spend your time at a bar on Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays, and like those are the sort of activities that partake in. You're a lower class person.
Sure. Okay. It's interesting just how deeply baked into society, particularly English society, like the class system is.
I wonder why that is. Yeah.
True.
I'm trying to think about why that is now as well.
Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to pee it and I've got a question for it.
Nice. That's good. I think that's actually.
Stay with us.
Actually, no, that would be rude. Maybe I'll try a joke out on your focus. This is a joke that I've struggled to get out twice on the last 2 occasions I've tried it. But basically, I'm sort of discussing the Will Smith debacle, and saying that people have been saying that the whole Will Smith thing, he should have been arrested, and the reason he wasn't was celebrity privilege. And actually, the California's chief of police has released a statement on the matter saying that the reason that Will did not get arrested is not because he's a celebrity, because they did actually receive a complaint that evening. And yeah, the reason is not because he is a celebrity, but because the police don't respond to any complaints involving individuals matching the description of the 2 parties involved. So, that clears that up. And that's the joke. And the first time I did it, completely screwed it up, completely fucked up the words and almost forgot myself. Yeah, the nerves got to me for sure. And the second time, I'd had a tricky start where I'd said, "Hey, let's make fun of Will Smith," and I got like oohs from the crowd, and I think that rocked me quite a bit, and I never recovered in that sort of 6-minute set. But fortunately, I recorded it, so I'll be able to sort of immortalize that time in my life. Whenever I'm sort of starting to feel a bit too chirpy, I can always watch that. It'll pull me back down to earth, But yeah, I've been struggling to sort of make. I haven't been doing too much writing, so I'm going to do quite a bit tomorrow. I'm supposed to be gigging tomorrow at the park, and I've sort of said to myself, I'm either going to be able to write a completely new set, or I'm going to use that time I was going to be gigging to continue writing. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's been quite a long episode, I imagine. Time is now 9:50. We start at 8. All right, I'm going to go to the loo now. I thought it'd be rude to the listeners if I left them aghast.
No, fair enough. No, I shall leave the aghast. But it is quite interesting, isn't it? Sometimes you really don't think it'd be like it is, but it do. And that's kind of an interesting question. More people have actually been to Germany than I have. And what I'm trying to illustrate here is the difference between things when you think they be, like they ain't, but it do. We have a responsibility, a moral obligation to ourselves, to people we love, to people that we will love, to become all that we can be. It depends entirely on you, the fate of not just yourself, but you care about. You might be lonely, you might be single, you might be young, but there are people that you love, and there are people that you will love. And you will never know just how much your preparation and becoming the best person that you could be now will help them achieve their own dreams, help you maintain a stable relationship with them. How much who you could be would really comfort and provide for them on emotional and, let's say, a spiritual. Become who you could be. We're back.
We are. Let's leave it with a jar.
A jar feels good. That's what it is.
I wasn't keen on the step over.
Yeah, the step over seldom goes well.
I went to the gym today, and my legs are sore. I understand now why the Americans use pounds.
Yeah.
It's all the gym. Because you can say, hey, I squatted 100 kgs today. Or you could say, I squatted 250 pounds.
Bro, I've actually, with my own.
It's more money.
It's more.
It's a higher value.
It's better.
More is better. More is always better.
More is better.
Mm.
More is more.
Mm. How big's your dick? It's about 15 centimeters. How big's your dick? Wait, it's the opposite of that.
Inches sounds cool.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah. That's more letters than centimeters.
9 sounds like a lot.
cm.
If you gotta have 15 or something.
Mm. Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah. Why are you trying to increase? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a bad example.
That's what it is.
It was a really bad example.
You know? Sometimes you don't need to be like this. But it do.
But it do.
But it do.
But it do.
Like with my own weight loss journey, I've been measuring it in pounds.
How you doing?
Good. I lost a couple of pounds.
You're looking good.
Thank you.
You're losing it. You're losing weight. You're losing more and more weight every time I see you.
Thank you.
He's looking sexy, boys.
Thank you. I gained a couple. I lost a couple. It's like 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 3.5 steps forward.
Yeah, it is exactly like that. You're like, you do well, you do worse than what you were doing, and you do better than that, and then it mediums out. But all the way, you're trickling down or you're trickling up.
Yeah. You kind of want to circumambulate.
Yeah.
Way to, you know.
You are heading towards the goal.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm massively so.
You know. Question I had for you: do you think that the class system in the UK do you think the class system in the UK was a big contributor to why the British were able to take over and subjugate the Indians? Because they had their own caste system, but that was based on birth. Like,
interesting.
You know, which the class system in the UK was also based on birth a lot. But it's like if you were born into money, you had the right accent, you had the right, went to the right schools, you talked to the right people, blah, 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 blah. But the Indians as well also had that shit, right? But it was like a lot more sort of like family lineage and a lot of sort of bullshit. Because the thing is too, that like, at least with the UK system, you could in theory, and at least in a generation or two, overcome that. Let's say you're that, you know, you're the fucking I'll fucking cockney right, mate, that fucking pipe. And
right.
Your kids, you could send your kids to a high class school, and they could get that accent.
Yeah, you can send your child to any school, and that accent will change.
And that accent will change. So then, let's say you teach that kid how to manage money, how to manage businesses, everything else. Their kids,
they're fine.
They're fine.
And dude, it happens a lot. Like, you know, it's funny. Like, I've got instances that I know that, you know, personal experiences of friends and families that I know that were exactly that's happened. They're lower class. You know, a lot of them are Irish. And like the Irish are almost they're a complete equivalence with the Cockneys.
Right.
Complete equivalence, and they work hard. Well, the Irish work hard because they moved to England, and everyone hates them because everyone hates the Irish.
Why? So they're like the black people of the UK.
Well, the Cockneys are the Irish of the UK as well.
Right.
They're one and the same.
Right.
They're one and the same. They're sort of, it's almost like they're dismantled from English culture completely. They're sort of the underbelly that no one wants to talk about. They're sort of almost runs the country as well, much like South Auckland does. Like if South Auckland wasn't there, and like the people that sort of encapsulate South Auckland would be fucked. New Zealand would be fucked. Like they run a lot of the warehouses. You know, they run all that baseline shit that like makes up the airport. Fucking like all of the import export shit is run by islanders who live in South Auckland. If they weren't there, we'd be fucked.
Holy shit, I literally never thought of that.
So the islanders are the Cockneys and the Irish of England.
Genuinely, this is not a joke.
Yeah.
Genuinely just had my mind blown.
And this is just my thoughts thinking about it now, like the lines that we've both connected together on this journey that we've been on.
That's fucking beautiful.
This has been a learning experience for everyone.
Yeah. Well, that's not crazy.
Yeah, man.
I actually can empathize with the Irish now. Because I know how Islanders get treated. I know how they get seen.
Yeah,
You know?
we've all seen movies.
And when you see someone driving past with speakers on their car, you just can't help it. You're like, fuck that guy. That's fucking bullshit. Fuck him. Fuck every, when you're reading a you're like, fuck his entire race. Doesn't matter what race he is, could be Asian. But you never see an Asian guy doing that.
Asian.
You're like, fuck that guy. Fuck his mama. Fuck everything. Fuck everything about that guy.
Dude, do we just like come to understand the reason behind sirens?
Yeah.
It's just like I am here too. I run your shit.
Yeah, it's like some avant-garde art movement that no one understands. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like this is the music that plays in the warehouses.
Right. It's like you look down, fucking you see those Jordans, you know. Who do you think fucking runs the ports that
Crazy Lakers jersey.
yeah. Who do you think's run the ports that fucking facilitates the crane that picks that container off the ship and brings it onto fucking shore?
True.
I do, bitch. Listen to my 10 seconds of
Yeah, it's like we are.
song.
Yeah, it's like our society sits on these people's shoulders, on this demographic's shoulders, and you don't know the culture or the music of these people.
Mm.
Let me show you as I blast past them.
There's 7.5 seconds of it.
That's literally it. Because all you hear is like as it just drives past. That's fucking, I actually feel like that's crazy. Thank
I
you.
feel like we learned something together.
Yeah, I feel like we've just gone on a journey and just like uncovered like all of these great connections. It's crazy.
We should do this more often.
Yeah. It doesn't end up being a common podcast anymore. It's just us talking about like theology and shit.
Just next session, history. So
Hitler, and then just
1971.
dude, it's not for real. Like, so that's how Irish get treated. They're like the islanders.
Yeah. It's the same. It's the same. Especially the Cockneys as well. It's probably worse for the Cockneys because like they're supposed to be the same people, but they get treated the exact same.
Right.
And it's like with the same guys.
Sure, it's I'm English.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, why treat me like him?
So it's worse for them. It's literally being like moldy.
Right.
Dude, the Cockneys are the moldy of fucking.
Cockneys are the Maoris,
Cockneys are the moldies.
and the Irish are the Islanders.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's how it is.
That's holy shit.
But it's a little bit different because like the moldy don't work. Is there a cheers to that?
Yeah.
Well, are you sure?
Let's do it.
How you agree?
That's fucking crazy. The Irish accent is just so charming.
They're actually great. They're always good chat.
I'm talking about Mario too. Don't fucking talk about it. It's not really like what?
They said something very normal, but just in a very like fun sort of. That's why I like the French. I think the French and the Irish are similar in the way they speak. It's like they're saying very mundane normal things, but they put like a little bit of jazz in there.
Right.
And it makes conversation fun.
Right.
And I respect that.
Yeah, because like the Irish, the way the Irish speak, like it's very colorful. Like
very colorful.
American.
Great way to describe that.
Yeah, because that's the other thing I'll say. Like the UK has got. I would rather listen to two people insult each other from the UK than someone insult each other from America. Because the American accent, the American insult's pretty succinct. You can't, you're a bitch, you're this, you're that, you know.
Just real quick, do you like how blacks insult each other in America?
Yeah.
I feel like it's almost unprecedented.
Yeah. It's like poetry.
It's different, yeah, it's poetry.
Yeah.
And it's like there's rhythm involved somehow.
Yeah, it's like musical almost.
Yeah.
You get insults, you're getting your ass kicked to a beat.
Yeah.
You know? Because like I've seen it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a black guy who goes around just fucking roasting people. And there's this guy in like this green shirt with like a red stripe on. And I think it's supposed to be reminiscent of like Gucci or whatever, you know, it's got like green stripes and the rim on them. He's like, hey man, oh my baby boy, look at this nappy headed motherfucker. Oh my mama boy, you look like a hungry ass caterpillar out here, motherfucker. Look at these Jordans out here, the fucking Ross dress for less looking ass motherfucker. Oh my mama, baby, you looking like you look you look like the antagonist in a fucking kids book, and it's, it's just
They have to be
so
the best at
fucking-
roasting.
Like, yeah, you must have to be. Right?
Yeah, Americans,
American, yeah, you gotta be.
Black Americans.
Black American, yeah. Black culture is as another one of those things that's so colorful.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
It really is, man. Black American insults.
Fucking great.
I think that's the epitome of just the bottom. The apex of insulting
Right.
another person is the blacks they have.
Yeah.
Mm.
Which is also kind of cool too, because like I think like a lot of the Western world, it's like fuck you, I'll kill you, or like you can't, I'll kill you.
Yeah.
But in the UK, it'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about, you toss pot? I'll knock your fucking block off. You know what I mean? It's like-
There's always a little bit of something extra in there for no reason. It doesn't need to be there.
The fuck is that? I'll
Yeah.
knock you. That's the other thing. I'll knock you out versus I'll knock your fucking block off. Swear on me, mum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What was that last bit about?
Swear on up.
Yeah,
No need for that. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah.
So many like more simpler ways to put that. But
Yeah.
they say swear on.
Yeah, but it's so much more colourful, and that's why I think I have a fondness for like a lot of sort of Cockney and a sort of like Geordie sort of accent. Because like, what about fucking chip here? Like,
It's
Yeah,
just
we
normal
know.
conversation meets jazz.
yeah,
And they put time into making that thing.
right.
Conversation can be like far more like straightforward. Like people say a lot that Asians don't have sense of humor, but really when you really look into like sort of the way that they talk, it's a very direct sort of comedy.
Right.
Not a lot of them,
Right.
but like the Japanese are not funny. The Chinese don't put like a lot of time into comedy,
right.
but like especially the Filipinos. This guy's caught me off guard like quite a lot.
Right.
Like where it's just like, oh shit, like you just like been. It's a very direct form of humor because like with like maybe the English and the Americans, they try and put like a bit of a spin on it, and like the directness of perhaps like the Asian comedy is far more like it's almost hard because I'm still sort of like still learning on this, still experiencing it, but it's a far more direct. It's almost just like straight insults, you know.
Right.
It's almost just like yeah, it's sort of hard to put my thumb on it right now, right in this instance. But like sort of the way that they like have fun with like words. It's almost like a what do you call it when you like divert? Diversion. It's almost like diversion. It's
Right.
like
Misdirection.
yeah, it's almost like misdirection. It's like you're talking about like a certain thing, and then let's put it off on this road. But the way that it's sort of presented, it's very direct, and it's like there's less poeticness in Asian comedy,
Right.
but it is still as fun,
Right.
but it's just far more direct.
Okay. Interesting.
It's like almost like a lot of diversion and misdirection,
Interesting.
and it comes off as sort of as direct, but they're just sort of they're pushing the conversation with a sentence just in another direction, random.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
And a lot of it is insults, and I've described that terribly, and I'm grateful that maybe you're being polite, but
Yeah.
I haven't been able to describe it properly, but maybe I'll be able to give you like a proper example next time.
Right. No, I get what you mean. Yeah, it's like very direct. That's like a very sort of. You know what's interesting too is that like countries that got stand-up comedy a lot, like because stand-up comedy was very much facilitated. I don't think it was created by the mob,
Right.
but it was facilitated by the mob.
I just thought of an example. Right. Just sorry to cut you off.
No, go for it.
But this one guy I knew, he was actually younger than me, and he was a Vietnamese guy, and I asked him about his t-shirt, and he'd obviously just bought. It wasn't obvious to me, but he obviously just bought like a random t-shirt just to be able to wear while I was working, and it was it had like Adventure Time on it,
Right.
and he's like, I was like, oh, like you went to Adventure Time, bro? He's like, oh, not really. How old are you? He asked me how old I was.
Right.
And like that was the joke.
Right. Okay. Right. So it's almost like the preemptive. That like the joke is preempted, and then you sort of got to take your rest of the way there.
Yeah, I the initiative was on me to understand what he was saying.
Right.
That I was the joke. I was the butt of the joke by asking him like, why like he like because I was like, oh, like you must like this sort of like this something that's like potentially childish or whatever.
Right. And it's like you're right. It's like it's like how old are you?
Yeah.
How old? I just bought a random shirt.
What do you
How old are you?
Why would you think that I would buy this like
right
meaningfully? Like I'm into Adventure Time.
That's almost
and
like
he took it a step further. He's like, oh, how old are you, bro? How funny was that, bro?
That's actually fun. That's almost
he was 21 and I was 24 at the time.
That's crazy.
That's some genius comedy, man.
It's almost like meta humor.
It is.
You know what I mean? Like,
and he's not a comedian. He's just a guy. He's just a
guy.
He's just a Vietnamese guy.
Right.
And Red does that a lot to me as well. He does a lot of that meta humor. That he's used to, that like his people were used to, that he's used to having those sorts of jokes,
right? Where
they just completely divert the conversation, where like you're somebody that's but the joke,
right?
Because you fucked up in the conversation,
and
you weren't keeping up,
right? So it's like preempted, but it's not explicitly stated. Because and that's I feel like New Zealand,
and that's where the fucking around is. He's like, like how old are you, bro?
Right.
And like if it was in like a normal conversation, but like I'm so far behind.
So easily.
I'm so far behind.
Right.
But by asking him like, oh, do you like this? Do you like that cartoon?
Right.
Then he can just be like, oh yeah, cool, man. How old are you, by the way?
Yeah.
I'm older than you.
That's fucking great. Like
it was brilliant, bro.
That's fucking genius. Like I almost feel like a lot of New Zealand audiences would be too dumb for that.
Yeah.
Or that like at least it's not.
It's a higher intelligence, should say.
Because you have to fucking spell it out for people now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of jokes that I'll do where there's too many connections you have to make on your own. And there'll be people in the audience that get it and they're like, fuck, that's funny. But then there's a lot of people who just don't and they're like, huh?
I'm with you, man. Do you want to know what it is?
Yeah, I'll know.
We've been going for a while, so like the amount of time you've had to sort of process alcohol.
Yeah.
It's like a standard of an hour. I think it's been like 2 hours now. Maybe.
Listen, that's what it is. You know?
So it's like this is basically a fourth drink. Well, no, this is basically a second drink. Is what I was trying to say.
Right. Yeah.
Because of how the body works. We're all about
Yeah, it's got 30 minutes.
This is all about learning.
All that. Sure.
Cheers, dude. Fucking good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too, man.
This episode's been going great. There's a bit of a lull in the middle there where we fucked around for a while, but we got back to how we were at the start and the end.
You just got it.
When you do, you got to do it.
Listen, life can't be all, life's relative. It's like if you got your dick sucked every hour on the hour,
you wouldn't be.
Getting your dick sucked would not be that great.
It wouldn't, no.
You'd be like, I get my dick sucked every hour on the hour. Whether I'm shitting, whether I'm in the port, whether I'm at a concert,
right.
Whether I'm getting clothes fitted. That nurse, that au pair who is 60 now, is breaking through that door, and she is gonna suck me.
I completely cut off when you said shitting and getting your dick sucked. I'm thinking like, sometimes shitting feels good.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes I'm like, I want to that. Connected to finishing.
Yeah. That'll take a very strong woman.
A very strong woman, very committed to very committed to you.
Maybe overcommitted.
Maybe it's more about her.
At that point. Yeah. Oh, that's what it's like.
It's like when you're pissing on someone, which I've never done.
I'm told. Yeah. I'm told it's great.
I imagine it's like when you're pissing on someone
imagine?
And it's it's for you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the crying doesn't.
That's for you. Oh, you should piss on me.
Yeah.
You're just in the toilet in like a public bathroom,
Right.
and it's for you somehow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's a lot of times that and you look back on it and you're like,
It's a class thing.
it was. She's like, oh, it's pissed on my fucking face, yeah, and you're like, no, this is a good one.
I'm Irish with the same.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not punching down.
Mm.
You know, it's what it is. But no, like it's just kind of weird, like in terms of I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say. I was literally in the sentence. I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say.
Oh, we were fucking around.
Highs, lows. Yeah, no, if you were shitting, let's say you got your dick sucked every hour on the hour.
Yeah.
12 o'clock,
Mm.
suck. 1 o'clock, suck.
Right.
You know? Whether you're shitting, sleeping, eating, doesn't matter.
Getting your asshole fingered.
Getting your asshole fingered. By somebody else, by the way.
Is that better than shitting while you're getting your ass sucked? While you're getting your dick sucked?
Or getting
Now we're talking about the epitome of sensation.
right. We will have to find a maid that will suck every hour on the hour, and we need somebody with hands.
Have you ever had your finger sucked?
I have.
And it's just like, fucking, it almost rockets you off.
Yeah.
You know, you just had your finger sucked in a certain way. Because I've had my finger sucked, in a sense where it did nothing. And I'm just like, oh, that's hot. But just certain times, and just in certain places, and it's almost when you call off guard, and she just decides to pop that finger in her mouth and just suck it for some reason, for whatever reason.
Who knows?
She's in her sexual zone.
Might be grooving.
It's like being, she might have been groovy. She's probably groovy. Most of the times it's been groovy. But she's just like, it's like when a athlete is in what they call the zone, the athletic zone.
Yeah.
Like, you go, this person, they're just in that sexual zone, and they're like, right now is the time to be sucking on that thumb, that pinky.
Yeah. Sixth pinky.
That sixth pinky. Throwback. And for some reason, it just fucking, whatever reason it is.
Who knows?
Maybe, who knows? Who knows?
Could be Freudian.
We don't know.
Could be eatable.
Mm.
Look at you, like, what the fuck? No, yeah, the thumb is a big thing. The thumb is a big thing. I feel, the thumb, she grabs your hand, she sucks it.
Because, I feel like it's almost wrong, in a sense, because it's like.
It does almost feel wrong.
It's wrong, because, like, your finger's wet.
Fingers wet, balls like God knows where they've been, it's could have God knows what on it, it's like a thumb.
Just having wet fingers in general as well.
It feels a little bit gross.
It's strange. It's
Icky.
strange.
Icky.
It's icky. It's icky. Just have an icky thumb, icky finger. I'm not sure where I was going with this.
Me neither.
Oh, we're talking about the hardest sensation.
Yeah.
So we've got the thumb going. We've got somehow she's sucking your thumb and your dick at the same time. And there's a finger in your ass.
Council.
She's a dexterous gal. Maybe there's a few involved. Well, there would have to be. And she's some sort of monster.
Yeah.
But she's our monster.
And you gotta love it for it.
Mm.
You gotta take, listen, when you love someone, you gotta accept them that.
Yeah.
Unless they're a psycho baby trap.
God damn, I never want to be a plumber. But here we are. It could have happened a few times, like.
No, I felt it too.
But we're like, it's probably time. It's been like 2 hours.
Yeah, I literally just saw that. It's been 2 hours.
I didn't know, but I know when I went to the toilet, it was like, I know we started like sort of 8ish.
Yeah.
And that was 10.
Well,
This was a good episode.
it's been great.
Yeah. Want a cigarette? Yeah.
I haven't had a cigarette since the last time I seen you.
Hell yeah. I've been quite good.
But interestingly enough, like the whole like baby trapping thing and like a lot of bitches being crazy. I genuinely love this girl, and I have no idea. She's actually like the most thoughtful person. Bro, let me tell you what happened.
Has there been anything that's pissed you off though?
No. No, that's the thing. Most of the women that I was seeing, I could literally sit with them for a couple hours, and then that was it. This one chick was like wanted to sit with me, wanted to go to the park and have a picnic and all that shit. I was literally sitting with her on a park bench, and I was just getting more and more frustrated. I did not. I just fucking wanted to leave. Because
you guys weren't talking.
No, she was talking. She was talking to me about all sorts of shit. And she wasn't a bad person.
She wasn't uninterested.
No, she wasn't mean or anything. She was lovely.
Yeah.
But I was just like, get the fuck away from me. Like, you know, like, listen, you're a lovely girl. I get it. You know, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But like, I'm gonna get it off too. You know, like we'd gone on a date, whatever, and then you know we just kind of hung out for the rest of the day. But like, I was just got so like, I'm tired to be here. Listen, I'm sure your family's lovely, but I'm not the guy. Like, I don't, you know, tell me about it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But I would get really tired with people. Like, I would get really tired with girls, and I'd be like, okay, you know, because they don't want to cuddle and all this shit, and it's just like, I get it. You got 10 minutes, and then you gotta get into an Uber and you gotta get the fuck out of here because I am tired. Not just in general, but you know, it's like, and then that God forbid they talk about having children.
Yeah.
Want kids one day? Get out. You know, fuck that.
Well, I think like
I'm not no plum.
I personally think like the more self-worth you have, the more just like you prioritize your time, and like the less time you have, sort of like the less sort of constraint you have when it comes to someone wasting yours. And I used to be a people pleaser before, like massively. Like my mother was like, she was like this weird person where I was like constantly trying to like please her. She was always like this impossible person to sort of be happy. And so I would always try and work out like what was wrong with it. And then I grew up and I'm like, oh Jesus, like that's what she was. And this is what I am now because of like her being in my life. And after that, I'm like, every time like I'm not enjoying someone's space or someone's like presence and like they're just sort of wasting my time, I very quickly eject or make that clear. I'm like, that's why it pisses me off when people like purposely wasting my time.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just try and stop them.
Yeah.
Well, I do stop them like very quickly.
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right, you know.
Doesn't take me to red flags.
No.
You know, and that's the thing, like,
Because you know what's going on.
You know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will try to get their claws into me too. Oh, you know, blah, blah, blah. Oh, my mother's got a barbecue happening this weekend. Do you want me to come? And I'm like, you know what I mean? It's like they think they got you on the hook to try to really win, you know? I'm like, oh, do you want kids one day? You know, one day, and then the fucking other shit starts happening. You'll walk past, you'll be in a park, right? You get some coffee, right? Get a little fucking coffee with fucking breakfast. And then all of a sudden, the fucking young family will pass and they'll be like, oh, she's so cute. Look at that little breath. Oh, we'd have cute kids. Don't you think? And you're like, and a lot of kids, a lot of guys' brains, that would be like, I guess. But me, it was like, you know, and then, so, but anyway, with this girl I'm with now, my girlfriend, it was so weird because like I met her and everything just clicked.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it was great. I didn't get tired of her at all. Like I met her once.
She's gonna be the wife of your children.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Probably not the wife of my children, but the mother of my children. Yeah, it was just crazy. You know, the second time we met, we literally just got up the whole night. Like, okay, we were watching shows. We were like, we laugh a lot, like a lot.
Cool.
You know what I mean? So like we're just always laughing about shit. She's really fucking funny. Like, and she's the most thoughtful girl I've ever met in my fucking life. Like, the other day, there was a housewarming because she moved to Mount Mountain. So her and her flatmates had like this housewarming. So, and all the people came along and it was fun and everything else. And, you know, we just kind of chilled, took it really easy. You know, it was fun. But the next day, we were fucking wrecked, like just late night. And we had COVID the week before.
Right.
And so, like, you know, you get the fatigue for a couple of weeks and you're just a bit fucked. And so all of that.
You're hungover.
And yeah, you know, you know, it's crazy. I'm 25. I wasn't even that hungover. I didn't even drink that much, and I was still fucking aching the next day.
Right. It was COVID.
Yeah, it was COVID. It was. I'm getting old. You know, I'm starting to head that way. But no, it was crazy. So anyway, you know, we get some pizza, whatever. You know, we order some Hell's. We get garlic bread for Domino's because for some reason Hell's pizza garlic bread sucks ass, bro.
Well, it's nothing like the atrocity that is Domino's garlic bread.
Bro,
It's a great atrocity.
bro.
It's just all fucking. It's literally 3 ingredients. It's like flour, butter, and oil,
I mean,
and garlic. Sorry, it's
garlic.
4.
Bro,
It
Domino's
works.
garlic bread is the fucking.
But
Hell's garlic bread, they try to do the whole meal thing, and it's like all you know, virgin. Oh, fuck all that.
the tricky thing with
Give me poison.
the tricky thing with Domino's garlic bread is you need to order 6. If
Right.
there's 2 of you, you need 6.
Yeah. It's
They're small, they're petite.
Yeah.
You inhale it.
You know, it's easy. It's easy to just banish it.
You're like, you have a few bits, you're like, it's hard.
Yeah. Yeah. And the bread is so doughy.
It's so nice.
It's so soft.
It's so soft. It's
And-
it's not heavy at all.
No, and the crust. There's a little resistance. Not too
Oh
much.
yeah. Mm.
Not too much.
Then you get towards the edges.
Sometimes Hell's garlic bread, the base of it, the bottom side of the bread, which they baked it on, it's like trying to bite through drywall.
I would never get that garlic bread.
It's fucking awful. I made that mistake once.
They've got something like shrimp flutes or something.
Yeah,
They're okay.
that's good.
Shrimp flutes.
Yeah, that's right.
Something like
Dude, this
that.
girl.
Flutes. I think it's alliteration for
True. I think you're right.
something
No,
flutes.
I think that-
F flutes.
Yeah,
Sure, some sort of seafood flute.
yeah. I'm gonna try those next.
They're okay. They're good.
Yeah. I'll get them.
And the chicken wings are okay as well. You spend a bit of money, but you get your money's worth.
Right.
Mm.
Interesting. I'll grab one.
I used to be a very unhappy guy.
Same.
I used to buy a lot of house pizza.
Yeah, dude, that fucking old folks home that I used to work at.
Mm.
Every shift, every like afternoon shift, which was like from. It went till
It
11.
was a long time.
It was a long time. It was 8 hours. So it went from 11, so it was probably like 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Mm.
I'd have to get there.
That's a
Have
late
pizza.
time. That's a late time of the day
Yeah,
to start work
Get
on a
that.
Sunday.
Yeah, bro. Double lost, hollandaise sauce. Yeah, and garlic bread. Every now and again.
I used to get mortal.
More.
They used to have like the most sort of like intricate topics sort of thing.
That's crazy. Bro, you see this out, right? So the next day, we're tired,
Sorry,
all
yeah.
over the place. We spend the whole day in bed, just recovering and drinking water and whatever. We go get this food, right?
Right.
We
Until
we keep recording. Yeah. Bro, I come back from the bathroom, right? She's set up the pizza and she's got scrubs on.
As sexy as fuck.
Bro, like I know she's tired of the show because I watch it all the fucking time. But like even when she's like super tired and shit, you know what I mean? Like
She's scrub. Right.
Bro, like she was clearly tired, clearly like didn't wanna just wanted to sleep.
Mm.
But she sets the pizza out, gets the garlic bread out, sets it up all beautiful, and then puts on scrubs. I literally walked into like pizza and scrubs.
Has she told you? Has she? Should we talk about this on camera or not?
Yeah, it depends on the question.
Yeah.
You'll find out.
We can always cut it.
Yeah.
Has she told you about her family?
Yeah, I've met her family.
They're fine.
Yeah.
What?
They're lovely people. They're actually great. Like
She should have a terrible family
bro,
to be so nice.
you would think.
Yeah.
But bro, her family's her mom's a fucking vibe.
The only good people I've almost ever met have terrible families.
Don't fucking say it. This is the weird thing. I met her family the week we started dating because she was moving house.
Right.
So like I met her family. She met my family because we had to pick up a van for her to move some of the stuff for her to move house in.
I remember the van thing.
Yeah, the van thing.
I remember the van thing.
Yeah. So she met my family the week we started dating. I met her family that same week because we had to pick up some of her stuff to move to her new place.
That's cool.
Right? But her family's lovely. Bro, the last time I saw them, the time before last, her mom loves to get like candy bars and stuff, like when her kids come to visit.
Okay.
And her younger brother is like just turned 21. So he's studying whatever, he's still at home. He's fucking great too, by the way. He's a fucking funny guy. Like, and he like loves. He's fucking wicked smart too. Like he studies like cloud, like IT, but he studies like cloud technology.
Well, she's a nurse, so.
Yeah. So she's like wicked smart. So I see. But dude, her mom had 2 candy bars, and one of them was for me. And she gave my girlfriend one of these candy bars, because she came over and visited whenever it was a pre-planned thing. She gave me a fucking candy bar as well. She was like, "Oh, I got this for you." And I was like, I was so touched. I was like, "Oh my god, I don't know what to do." And her dad's fucking chill as fuck too. You know what I mean? Like, that's great. Her dad's real fucking funny too, which makes sense because she's funny.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of hereditary in a way.
All right.
You know what I mean? Like, listen, you become funny one of 2 ways. Either your parents are funny or you have a terrible fucking childhood.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I think it's even like more specified than that. It's like either if you're someone's daughter,
Yeah.
your dad is funny, or you have a fucked up childhood.
Yeah.
It's never like a funny mom, funny like daughter. It's never that.
Right.
I've never met like a funny mom. I've never met a funny mom. I've never met a funny mom where like I've met a few funny moms, but like they've only had like sons.
Interesting. Yeah. No. True.
And their sons were great. They were funny. They were good guys.
My mom's funny. She's quite quiet. She doesn't talk a lot.
Okay.
Like she is.
She's
a watcher. She sees everything. She's like,
I haven't met enough mums. That's what it is.
Hmm.
I need to get out there and meet some more mums.
But I haven't met a lot of funny moms.
Yeah. I've met very few.
But dads are fucking hilarious.
Dads are almost always.
Almost always.
Because like it's their thing.
It's almost like that's the dad role.
That's the masculinity role. That's that masculinity role, right? Of the point. It's like what type of dad you're gonna be in this scenario? Like you're meeting someone who's fucking your daughter.
Right.
You're meeting like a mate of your son.
Right.
You're meeting I think that's almost like the only 2 scenarios.
Right.
You have to be funny.
Yeah.
You have to be funnier than other dads.
Yeah, true.
That's the masculinity flex.
True.
Who's the funniest dad? Because it's not like, oh, that dad was like, because we're not children. It's like, oh, that guy's dad does MMA.
Right.
It's like, who's the chillest?
Who's the funniest dad? No, that's true, because it's like, because men's lives are competitive and men's lives are transactionary.
But they're always competitive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's like young men who will compete. Like we compete with other comedians, to try and like place in the sort of comedy thing.
Yeah.
But when you get to the dad level, it's still competitive, I guess, but it takes on a different fucking dimension because it's like, why be the chillest, funniest dad? Because no one likes a hard ass dad.
No one likes a douchebag dad.
No one likes a douchebag dad.
No one likes
tough love dad is often lovable, but the douchebag dad.
Even like the religious dad is like, hey, hey, should we do a bit of a prayer now? Hey, if it's not your thing, don't worry about it. Like, and they've got some little joke there. Okay.
Yeah, right.
It's either easygoing or funny.
You're right.
Or like, like really sort of open and like, hey, so how are you doing?
Right.
It's like one of these levels, but it's all sort of based and connected to competitiveness of like who's the best.
True.
What identifies you? What makes you unique from other dads?
True. Do you ever notice like a lot of the chillest dads are a lot of the time the most accomplished dads?
Right. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like I knew, like I had friends growing up whose dads were like,
they got less to prove, man.
Doctors. Yeah, exactly. It's like their dads were doctors or whatever. They're like quite.
They're already accomplished.
They don't need to prove anything to you.
No.
And they can be funny.
And that's why they've proven so much to you, like from almost their inaction.
And that's almost ironic.
Yeah.
That their chillness and their openness proves just how accomplished they are.
Mm.
Because they don't have to prove it to you, which proves that they're like accomplished and they can be chill about it.
Dude.
You know what I mean? That's such a mind fuck, that
Mm.
whole thing. Because it's true, because like I knew people, because growing up, I grew up in a small town that, you know, half the parents didn't give a shit, you know, and that kind of thing. So, but their dads, like the burnout dad, the dull dads, you know, like the sort of like, they're always on meth, always like those dads, you know, I don't have anything against anyone on the dole, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
everyone falls down sometimes, you need a little help, get back on your feet. Hey man, look, if you need the help, take it, get ahead and stay ahead, you know what I mean?
You've either got goals or you don't. And like chances are, if like you don't have goals, I'm not hanging out with your son because he's a fuckwit.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know you.
Right, exactly.
You know?
Exactly. But like,
You're
yeah,
not gonna raise some like champion
yeah,
that I'm
exactly.
gonna hang out with.
Exactly.
So I don't know you.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's like but you know, listen, sometimes people need a little help. They get the help, they get ahead, they stay ahead. You know, that's chill. But like it was the dads that were like always on meth or like drug addicts or like always in and out of like prison or like always, those were the dudes that weren't chill.
Right.
Those were always, you know, that almost felt like they had to prove to you that they were a man.
Yeah.
That were like the fucking worst to deal with. Cause like, but you mean you know, you date a girl whose dad was a surgeon or some shit, the guy's chill as fuck.
Because like they've acknowledged themselves,
Yeah, it's almost like they've proved it to themselves,
and that's all.
and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
We've been figuring out life this
True, man. We've figured out a lot.
Did we just solve our own masculinity crisis? It's gotten deep this episode, man.
Oh man.
I feel like we just solved.
We've been peeling away, layers of the onion.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Let's go for a walk downstairs.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Yeah, same here.
Oh, really? Oh, you paused.
Luckily, we've got two. Yeah, but we're pausing. We're coming back.
Yeah.
Or should we just fucking?
Yeah, let's just end that shit.
Let's just end this. All right. We love you.
See ya.
Oh, there we.
We hate you.